season. The surprise on Sunday, the Houston Texans upset at home, falling to the Tennessee Titans. They are 7-5 on the year. Spurs continue winning. They beat the Warriors on Saturday, moving to 9-8. They return to the court tomorrow in Utah against the Jazz. The Blitz starts right now.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix.
Happy Monday. It doesn't feel like a Monday, though.
What does it feel like?
It feels like the holidays.
Well, it's a ghost town around this building.
Sure
the
is.
Radio Ranch is empty.
Those salespeople, I tell you
It was everybody. I mean, I didn't even see Greg Shelton today. I mean, you walk in, and I was like, is it Sunday?
We don't try to see Greg Shelton, though.
Well, generally something bad has happened if you're calling for Greg Shelton.
Yeah.
I really actually did want to see Greg Shelton today. I really did.
Why?
I really did. Because Greg spent a week last week every day wearing his Texans gear, saying, hey, all these Cowboy fans are jumping on our bandwagon.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of people, I mean, there were people on social media saying, the hell with the Cowboys, I'm now rooting for the Texans, and congratulations. Your first game as a Texan fan, you watch the great C.J. Stroud pull a Dan Orlovsky, and they lose to the Houston Oilers. What the hell was that?
It's a great day to be a Titans fan, isn't it?
Well, I mean, you don't get to say that often, so you might as well claim that one today.
No, I tell you what, I was shocked, and I'll be totally transparent. I didn't watch a lot of that
Who
football
did?
game.
We were all watching the Cowboys, even
sure.
if we said we weren't going to do that anymore.
Well, doing that, and I was flipping around all over the place because, you got money on this game and that game, and it's just nice to be able to do that. Really is nice just to
really is.
Flip back and forth to these different games. That's awesome. So I didn't see a lot of the Houston game, but I was very surprised by the final score.
I was surprised by the final score, and what I mean, when you have the YouTube TV, if you're watching, trying to figure out the box games, because I use YouTube TV on my other TV, and then on my main TV is I've got all the games. And how do you turn off the end of that Cowboys game? But YouTube doesn't allow you or doesn't show you the local broadcast because they figure you could watch it on your local station, which I wasn't doing. So I missed the grand finale until I saw the highlights of C.J. Stroud. And you talk about second-year regression. It is pretty incredible. But that's just field awareness.
Yeah.
It's one thing for them to be in a game, and quite frankly, the only reason why Houston was in that game from the parts I saw is because Will Levis will always keep the opponents in games.
Nice guy, isn't he?
But what a bleep show that was. And again, I look at Houston. I know a lot of people have said, I'm done with the Cowboys. I'm going to start rooting for Houston. Congratulations. The day you switch, Cowboys win and Texans lose.
Maybe those people were the problem.
Is that the problem?
Maybe that was the problem.
Well, the problem is Houston doesn't get to play Washington every week.
Hey, you talk about a team that is just falling to earth after starting sky high, man. That Washington team is just kind of falling down to, I guess, where they belong. Although they are still 7-5, they still got plenty of playoff aspirations. But, man, they haven't looked so good lately.
They haven't, and we'll get into it. It felt like the Cowboys did everything they could to lose that game.
Yeah, they did.
And every time the Cowboys did something to try to lose the game, Washington said, hold my beer, I'll miss an extra point. It was the most bizarre ending of a football game that was an awful football game for 3 quarters. I mean,
it really was.
At halftime, that game was, it was just brutal. And with 6 minutes, 47 seconds to play, Dallas was up 13-9 with 6:47 to play in the fourth quarter. and they win 34-26 in regulation. I mean, that was arena football like at the end of that thing.
I got to tell you what, I have not seen a move like that Kevontae Turpin move.
Well, Madden.
I mean, it was
he hit
just
the spin button.
Yeah, it was just incredible. My mouth dropped open when I'm watching that live, and it's like, what did he just do? And I think the commander said the same thing. What?
Whoa.
What did he just do? So it was pretty incredible. And then, man, once that dude is out in the open field, there's nobody going to catch him.
Not going to catch him. And just how, I mean, the ball goes through his legs, and then he just turns around and with one hand picks it up. It stayed calm, saw the lane, hit the spin, and touchdown.
How many times does that happen, though? It's almost like the defense relaxes when that happens, and it bites them in the butt every time.
You get out of your lanes.
Yeah.
You see it at every level. I see it in high school. If
Yes.
there's a kickoff return for a touchdown in high school, chances are there was a not cleanly fielded kick. And once that ball scrambles, I think just naturally you start going this way or that way.
Yeah, I think it's got to be something because it happens so often when there is a muffed kick like that. And but I tell you what, that was an incredible play by Turpin. I mean, you got to give the guy credit for that. And then the onside kick returned for a touchdown.
Yeah, that
for
was
the Cowboys.
just stupid. that literally is just stupid. You know, Wanye Thomas has to know at that point you just slide down so your offense can go take a knee. Well, think about it. As crazy as that game was, would you have been surprised if Washington returned it for a touchdown and went for two? Or, I don't know, they forgot to tackle McLaurin. Let's not cover the guy. I mean, Mike Zimmer should be fired for that play alone.
That was terrible.
That was terrible. That's not even the right word for it. I mean, that was just a colossal failure. I mean, you know, yes, they won the game, and it was wild. But if you're on that coaching staff going through the film, there are some moments where you're just looking at yourself going, what was that? I mean, from special teams in the first half to what we saw in the second half. But it's also coaching on Thomas to not slide down. He wasn't coached up properly on what to do in that situation.
Dude, the guy wants to score a touchdown. I don't blame him for that.
Well, no, you should blame him for that.
Don't.
I get it. He wants to score a touchdown. But the right football play there is you take a knee, the game is over. You go and score, now we've got to kick off, and we've got to play defense again.
There was like 10 seconds left.
How long did it take Terry McLaurin to go? 4? Again, the right football play, a well-coached football team, he wouldn't have taken that to the house.
Well,
A well-coached team would not have taken that to the house.
I don't blame the guy. You score a touchdown there. I mean, come on. How many times is this dude going to get to score a touchdown? Come on. And
never.
Exactly.
Again, I'm happy for him, but that wasn't the right football play, if that makes sense. You're going to blame the guy? A well-coached team, he takes a knee. You saw a guy in the Super Bowl, take a knee because it was the right football play. This is a meaningless game in Washington, and I say meaningless. I know there's going to be some, Joe Reinagel, they're going to say, man, that win cost us draft spots. Now, Mr. I'm all against tanking, screw tanking, has a video up on our Instagram page at SA Sports Star.
Is that
talking
up yet?
about, yes.
It is?
Talking about, boy, that was dumb to win that game. Boy, you're just screwing with your draft stock.
But say there's a difference.
Well, please explain.
There's a complete difference in tanking in the NBA because they start the season tanking as opposed to knowing you're already out of it and then tanking then.
Oh, is there?
Well, we saw a perfect example of that in the Meadowlands yesterday. The New York Giants are clearly tanking. They've already given up on the season.
Literally punted.
Yes, they're done, right? And the Cowboys should have done the same thing. And once the season's over, it's over. Now, then I hear Cowboy fans, 2 of them today. Well, you know, with the schedule coming up, it's a very good possibility that we could be 7-7 in no time.
I mean, that is true.
Wow.
I mean, delusional yet true because as we talked about all offseason, the Cowboys had a gauntlet to start. The back half of their schedule is very winnable, even for this crappy Cowboy team that we're seeing right now led by Cooper Rush. So your friends aren't overly delusional. They're right when you look at the schedule on who is coming up.
Well, I don't think they're going to have as crappy a special teams play as they had this last week. And unless they get a couple of touchdown returns, then they're still in trouble offensively.
Yeah, well, let's get into it. And again, they're still trying. they're trying to win games.
Yeah, that's what Steven and Jerry say.
And Steven, as I'm getting a note as we speak, will join us on Wednesday at 4:30 of this week.
Very nice.
Seeing as how they've got a game on Thursday and we're going to be off. So Steven will be on with us on Wednesday. My guess is because he's feeling pretty good after a win. Because he could have said, yeah, schedule's kind of busy. Let's punt this week.
Yeah. It was perfect timing that he missed last Thursday, though, because right after the Daniel Jones release, and he didn't want any part of Danny Dimes. He answered that question, boom, no.
Well, the fact that somebody on the internet, because you can do this, took Cowboys game notes from the last time they played Danny Dimes. So it looks like the Cowboys have a spot for him, but it was just out of their game notes. And they clipped that, put it on the internet that the Cowboys have already signed the guy, which is just ridiculous. Don't believe everything you read on the internet. It's comical.
No, but I mean, it wasn't just that. I mean, it was like, that's the thing. Somebody gets released, it's like, are they going to the Cowboys? Cowboys need a quarterback.
They do for this year, but also, Danny Dimes is allegedly going to pick a contender.
Sure, San Francisco perhaps, depending on
I said contender.
Brock Purdy. Well, that division is so bad, even San Francisco is still a contender.
I mean, Raiders desperately need a quarterback. What did I say? Baltimore's a likely spot for him. I'm like, dude, you're Daniel Jones. Somebody offers you a job, you take it. Contender or not, I don't think this is the time in your life to be picky. If you want a job, take it.
Well, sure. But I think Danny Dimes is looking at a permanent job somewhere. He'd like to do that. So the Raiders, I could see that happening. They need a quarterback. But is that the one that they want? Or would they rather take their chances with, I don't know, anybody else?
I mean, let's see. Gardner Minshew out for the year.
Uh-huh.
Aiden O'Connell probably won't be ready by Friday. I don't know what options they have.
No, they really don't, do they?
I mean, honestly, when you look at it, so we'll see. Although, if you're Daniel Jones, you're not going to take that job for whatever he signs with is just for the rest of this year because multi-year deal, whatever the next coach of the Raiders wants is what's going to be there. Daniel Jones needs to go on the Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield kind of, let's go back up somewhere for a while and then earn my opportunity. I mean, the Jets, he wouldn't even have to move. When they bench Aaron Rodgers for the rest of the year, they're going to be looking for a quarterback. Wouldn't that be funny?
That would be funny. And again, Aaron Rodgers, so we're all clear. Goodbye. Would you just leave already?
Oh, he wants to keep playing, just not for the Jets.
Who the hell's going to sign that dude? Nobody. There is not a team out there that's going to sign Aaron Rodgers.
Maybe he'll get his dream and go to San Francisco.
Well,
maybe.
Then they get what they deserve.
Maybe.
In San Francisco.
I would be all for that.
I thought that was Tom Brady's dream.
Well, it was. But Aaron Rodgers is from that area, too.
Oh.
He remember he went to Cal.
Dude, I would not touch Aaron Rodgers with a 10-foot pole.
Really?
No.
I think he's a bum.
He's a bum. He's a cancer. He's anything
better
else.
Than Will Levis.
Dude,
maybe not.
No.
Maybe not. Well, he wasn't yesterday because Will Levis beat the great C.J. Stroud. Wow. I still can't get over that.
I can't either, honestly.
I took the Texans and the 7.5.
Uh-huh.
4-1 on that parlay. Yeah, thanks, Pledge.
Yeah, I was 4-1 too.
Yeah.
But I had the Rams last night.
Ugh, that's brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal. Well, last week, Mike McCarthy said this group deserves a win.
And they got it.
They got it. Let's talk about it coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to USASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an Audience National contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com.
Hi, this is Bob Webster for Kinetico. You know, for years I've been telling you how I love my Kinetico water softener and all the reasons that I think that it is the best water softener in the industry. Doesn't plug in, not affected by power outages or power surges, saves water, saves salt, saves money. So many reasons, and right now they're making it an even better deal. You can get 0% interest for 12 months if you like. You can get a $400 discount when you trade in your old water softener, and when you do it soon, you get a free reverse osmosis system right there at your kitchen sink. All of these great perks for the best water softener in the industry. I love my Kinetico water softener. I've relied on it for years. And if you're in the market for a water softener or a new water softener, I highly recommend you check out Kinetico. Find them at KineticoSA.com or give them a call at 210-656-PURE.
The last water softener you'll ever own. KineticoSA.com.
Divorce is a fight. If you don't want to get knocked out of the ring by your spouse, then you need an aggressive law firm with a stable of hard-hitting attorneys at your disposal. Contact Barton & Associates today. Visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hit a home run for happy hour and ask your Twin Peaks girl about local specials on drafts, cocktails, shots, and more.
Hey there, Cowboy fans! San Antonio Sports Star has something special just for you. Imagine this, you and a loved one, and the excitement of a Dallas Cowboys home game under the bright lights at AT&T Stadium. Well, thanks to AARP and San Antonio Sports Star, we're giving you the chance to make that dream come true. It's easy. Just visit SASportsStar.com to enter for your shot at winning 2 tickets to see the Cowboys live. Whether it's your first game or your 100th, nothing compares to being there, surrounded by fellow fans, soaking up that incredible energy. And hey, this isn't just about football. It's about creating memories with someone close to you. AARP knows how important that is, and that's why they're proud to sponsor this special giveaway. So don't wait. Head over to SASportsStar.com. Enter and picture yourself in those seats, sharing an unforgettable day. We can't wait to send you to the game. Visit SASportsStar.com to enter. SASportsStar.com.
This holiday at T-Mobile, I'm joined by a special co-anchor.
What up, everybody? It's your boy, Big Snoop D-O-double G.
Snoop, let's talk about T-Mobile.
Okay, cool.
This holiday, get 4 lines for $25 a line. Plus, 4 iPhone 16s with Apple Intelligence and the all-new camera control on us.
Let's get cracking, like a breakfast egg.
You can use those eggs to make some eggnog, Snoop.
Respect.
And people do love T-Mobile, where you can save on every plan versus the other big guys.
You know, y'all can take some of those savings and buy some Snoop merchandise.
Always a great stocking stuffer, Snoop.
We up out of here.
Hold your horses, Snoop D-O-double-G. Let's remind people one more time.
Head to T-Mobile.com and get 4 iPhone 16s with Apple Intelligence on us. Plus 4 lines for $25. Now drop that jank.
With 24 monthly bill credits, 4 eligible trade-ins, and 4 new lines with autopay. Well-qualified customers plus taxes and fees and $35 per line connection charge. Cancel entire account before receiving 24 bill credits and credit stop and balance on required finance agreements due. $829.99 credits end if you pay off device early. See how you can save on wireless and streaming versus the other big guys at T-Mobile.com/switch. Apple Intelligence available now.
Welcome to TGL presented by SoFi. Golf's newest league, live on ESPN and ESPN Plus. It's 2 hours of hammer dropping, overtime forcing, playoffs on the line, golf. Tiger, Rory, and more of the best from the PGA Tour split into 6 teams. Learn more at TGLGolf.com and tune into the inaugural season beginning January 7th. Keep up, it's golf.
TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine is excited to announce a partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. The HURT app provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. HURT is the app to have before you need it. Don't wait for an injury to happen. Download Hurt now for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. The Hurt app is available online in the App Store and Google Play. Learn more about the Hurt app and the OrthoNow Injury Clinic at tsaog.com.
The holidays are picking up at the Home Depot, and so are the savings. Don't miss store-wide doorbuster deals starting Friday at 6 a.m. in-store only. Get top-of-your-list quality gifts at our lowest prices of the year, like a Ryobi 1+2 toolkit, only $79.88. Or go all out with festive decor, like the 2.5-foot LED elf Minion Stewart, a team player in any holiday display, for only $39.98. Don't miss doorbuster deals coming soon to the Home Depot. Starts November 29th, while supplies last.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Brad Sham with the call, along with Babe Laufenberg on the Cowboys radio network, as you heard it here yesterday on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota. You'll be able to listen to Thursday's game. Who knows the madness that you're going to hear with Cutlets against Cooper. It's going to be a good one. But let's talk about the drunk game from yesterday here on the Blitz. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. And a lot of people on the YouTube chat looking for Frank Mateo.
Where is Frank?
Under a rock. Probably called in sick. If he's used all his sick days, he's going to have to call in dead, because there's no way that Washington fan has the balls to show his face today after all the crap he talked last week. He ain't coming in today. Ain't no way in hell that dude is going to come in today.
You got to come in. You got to take your medicine. That's the way it works in sports.
Yep.
You know, you make a prediction. You talk trash. You lose. You got to take it.
That's exactly what it is.
That's the way it works.
Exactly. We all saw the final score. Nothing you could do about it.
No.
Nothing you could do about it.
Not a thing you could do about
it. It wasn't a good game. It was a
horrible game.
It was an awful
for 3 quarters.
Awful football game for 3 quarters. I mean, even Greg Olsen, yeah, this is bad. He's like, I'm glad I'm getting paid, because, man, if I wasn't getting a paycheck to do this, I'd have bounced to another game. The rest of us were sitting there because we enjoy going to the dentist, apparently, and because that's what it felt like. It was brutal, but for the Cowboys, and look, I picked Washington to win the game.
I did too.
I think we all did in our prime picks, in which one of us, Ryan, I went 0-5 in NFL picks.
But I was 5 for 5 in the college picks.
Yeah. So you're 5.
I think somebody predicted Auburn would win.
Yeah. Congrats.
You're welcome.
And we'll get into that coming up. Aggies. No, but you look at it, and the Cowboys did a lot of good things in that game, and give them all the credit in the world, from the coaching staff to the players that were there. As shorthanded as they were, the idea of tanking certainly felt that way before they got on that plane. Yeah, Brandon Cooks, we thought he was going to go. We're not even going to take him. Zach Martin, yeah, we're not even going to take you. I mean, it just felt like the tankathon was on. Yet they show up, and they played well enough to hang around. Defensively, those guys, that was probably the best defensive performance we've seen all year until it wasn't, right? The first 3 quarters, that was solid defense against a really good Washington offense. I saw Mike Fisher, who covers the Cowboys up in Dallas, post a story over the weekend that basically the headline of the clickbait tweet was, "Is this an audition for Cliff Kingsbury?" Well, if it is, he ain't getting an interview, because that Dallas defense did a number on that Washington offense.
Did you see the article from Jory Epstein in Yahoo talking about Cliff Kingsbury, and this is typical Cliff Kingsbury this time of year. He starts out hot, and he falls. She called it falling off a cliff.
Yeah.
I thought that was very clever.
She is clever.
But apparently that's what happened to him in Arizona. And I don't know. And it's funny because I've heard some other people talking about that today. And it's like, Cliff spends all summers coming up and, Whiz Kid coming up with different stuff. And then, well, they figure him out at the end of the season, mid-season. And that's what she's talking about. But his record, if you look at it, towards the end of seasons is a hell of a lot worse than it is at the beginning.
Well, and again, you look at, if you look at Washington's numbers, they threw for 275. They ran for 145. Jaden Daniels with 74 of those yards. Robinson getting hurt early probably did help the Dallas Cowboys quite a bit. And of the 275 passing yards, 86 came with no time left. Well, enough time to go, what the hell is going on here? But if that was an audition for Cliff, I guess you could take him off the list because that was not a good showing, and Washington hasn't had a good showing. And while it feels that way offensively for Cliff Kingsbury, can't we all say the same thing about DQ? Dan Quinn's defenses towards the end of last year in Dallas, they weren't playing great football. And last year, Leighton Vander Esch got hurt, and that defense fell apart. Yesterday, those guys played as if Dan Quinn was calling the defense. They played DQ-style defense yesterday, as if they knew they had something to prove to him. Give those guys credit because they could easily did what the Giants did. The Giants were down 30-0 at halftime to Tampa Bay, right? All of a sudden, it looked like, I don't know, one of those weird games we had last week in college football, one of those late November money games. That's what it felt like, which should not happen in the NFL. I see Tommy DeVito had like 45 yards passing in the first half, which was just a flashback to Cooper Rush a couple weeks ago with his first start.
Well, I'm not sure why they're playing DeVito anyway.
Because they're trying not to win.
Well, that was apparent yesterday. And it certainly helps Tampa Bay, and maybe it'll help Dallas on Thanksgiving Day. Who knows? But it was pretty obvious. They're done. They're done. Season's over, and it's time to look forward to the offseason.
Man, that's who the Cowboys have this week.
It is.
The Giants on Thursday on Thanksgiving. They might not ruin your Thanksgiving anyway, although it is the Cowboys, and you never know. But we know the Cowboys are still trying to be a playoff team, and they're not. And they're not a playoff team. But when you look at the schedule, the guys in that locker room are trying to win. And if I'm Mike McCarthy, think about this. If I'm Mike McCarthy, and I'm getting fired anyway, why would I care about where the Cowboys are drafting?
Exactly.
Because it looks better on my resume that I took this piece of crap roster that Jerry gave me, and I was able to win after everybody thought we were out. And our guys played hard. Because that's the one thing you could say about what you're seeing from this Cowboys team. They have not quit on Mike McCarthy. They have not quit on Zimmer, either side of the ball. And again, the things that you're hearing out of the Giants locker room, and I don't know if the players have quit on Daboll or the players have just said, all right, well, front office, you quit on us, so why am I going to go out there and give maximum effort? But when you hear player after player after player with the Giants talk about how soft they were and that they all weren't giving maximum effort, that's just your sign Daboll needs to go, and sooner rather than later. But at the same time, the front office has already said that to those players. It doesn't matter. We don't care about you. What it says.
Yeah, well, apparently, and they're taking it to heart. But look, Daboll's probably gone. There's going to be 7, 8, 9 coaching vacancies at the end of the season. There's going to be a lot of blood on the floor when it comes to head coaches. So, and he's got to be one of them. Look, he started out when he first got there. It was great. Improved the Giants, and then now they're just in the tank again. So they've got a lot to work on as well. And then you see Saquon Barkley last night, and it's like, oh, my gosh. You let that dude walk out the door, and 255 yards on the ground yesterday. I mean, he just slashed the Rams, a decent Rams front. I mean, that's not a slouch of a defense, quite frankly. And, man, he just made them look terrible.
The fact that now 2 of those were long runs.
Yes.
Running backs matter. And running backs on good football teams matter. You think about the Giants letting Saquon leave. Derrick Henry leaves Tennessee, although Tony Pollard looked fantastic yesterday running all over Houston.
Sure did.
The Raiders let Josh Jacobs go. I saw this stat earlier. The Giants, Titans, and Raiders are a combined 7 for 26. You look at the Eagles, the Ravens, and the Packers, so where Saquon went, where Henry went, where Jacobs went, are a combined 24 and 9.
Mm-hmm.
Running backs matter.
They matter.
They matter.
A running game matters. It does. And anybody that tells you, and that's why it was such a surprise. Now, maybe their shelf life obviously is not long.
Sure.
So I can understand franchises not wanting to give them the house like Zeke Elliott got. But it's, it's important. You have to have a running game. It is a quarterback's best friend, and it just throws the defenses off. You don't know what's happening. Yeah, it's important. And I hope the Cowboys get the message. They may fall in love with Rico Dowdle, though.
No. Rico Dowdle will be a great RB2.
Uh-huh.
He will be.
To
somebody not currently on the roster. It won't be Zeke next year. They're not saving Dalvin Cook for next year.
Zeke is awful.
It won't be Deuce Vaughn.
No.
But Rico can be a legit RB2. Although, honestly, watching the way he played yesterday, he's showing why they kept him around. I mean, average 4.5 yards a carry behind that banged-up offensive line. That was tough sledding. Credit Mike McCarthy for staying committed to the run, and for Rico, especially after the fumble, keeping his head and staying in that game. That was not an easy run game, but the Cowboys stayed with it. Rico stayed with it, and, turned out to be, obviously they won the game, but a pretty solid effort from Rico, proving to be RB1.
That's what I'm saying. That's the worst thing that could happen to this Cowboys team. Because I see Jerry, wow, that Rico, he's getting it. He's the guy. And here goes Rico.
Here we go.
You're going to give Rico a big contract. And
here we go.
I'm telling you.
He's not getting a big contract.
I'm telling you right now, Jerry Jones has just checked off drafting a running back.
No.
We got our guy.
He does not.
He's sitting right there,
no.
Daddy.
No.
Come on, Daddy.
No.
Well, that's Daddy.
No. That is inaccurate information.
I'm just saying.
No.
You do not want Rico Dowdle to be successful the rest of the year, or you're going to be saddled with that dude as your RB1 next year.
Have you looked at what's his contract status anyway? Week to week, month to month?
That's a good question.
He got a 2-year lease in Dallas or a 1-year lease?
Well, he's been with Dallas, 3 years?
Yeah, they've kept him around a long time because they like him, but he's not a boss. I say this, I don't know his real estate habits, but he better be an apartment guy. He's not a buy a house guy, right?
He's 26 years old, according to this. I'm trying to see here how long he's been with the Cowboys in Dallas.
2 or 3 years?
I'll find it.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it's here. It's here somewhere.
You Google box that.
I'll do it.
We'll talk more Cowboys and NFL, and we'll talk with you as well. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. The Monday after a great NFL weekend, always fun to react to. We'll talk some college football as well here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. When you need an electrician, Hill Electric is available for both residential and commercial needs. I've used Hill Electric for a variety of projects in my home through the years. They've added extra outlets in my garage because, the builder never gives you enough. They put up a spotlight over one of the grills outside, dimmer lights in the living room. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. Whatever your project is, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price. Never a service charge, always free estimates. So it costs you absolutely nothing to figure out what it will take to get a project done. Whether that project's at your house or at your office, call Hill Electric, 210-404-9074. 404-9074 or hill-electric.com.
The Morning Huddle.
He's doing a duet with Carrie Underwood that's on the radio. And I'm like, how times have changed.
Well, I got Snoop Dogg selling me phones.
Right? It's crazy. Remember when Snoop was on trial for murder? And now he's like,
now he's selling me
you
phones
want to buy
with
this,
Pat Mahomes?
You want to buy this fire pit. It's like, what?
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
When you're injured in an accident, you shouldn't have to face it alone. At Thomas J. Henry, your fight is our fight. When you hire Thomas J. Henry, you will have a dedicated legal team fighting for your best interest every step of the way. We've given over $1 billion to our clients in just the past 4 years and have earned more than 12,000 five-star reviews on Google. Trust the firm that fights for you. Trust Thomas J. Henry. San Antonio, Texas.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
At the Home Depot, the holidays have arrived.
And so is all my family. So I'm working on keeping up with the laundry.
The Home Depot is here to help with Black Friday savings up to 40% off select appliances. Spend less time doing laundry with smart, efficient appliances from Samsung. Ranked #1 in customer satisfaction.
Perfect. Less laundry time means more family time.
Get Black Friday savings now with free delivery and financing on select appliances at the Home Depot. Visit jdpower.com/awards for more details. Offer valid November 6th through December 4th. U.S. only. See store or online for details.
Oh no, my phone.
Hear that? It's the sound of a skater dropping her phone and smashing it on the ice. Yep, it's definitely broken. But at Verizon, we got you. Black Friday starts now. Trade in any phone, any condition from one of our top brands and get a new Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus on Unlimited Ultimate and Watch 7 and Tab S9 FE 5G. That's up to $1,900 in value. So you'll save big on 3 great gifts. Hurry into Verizon this Black Friday. Service plan required for watch and tablet. Up to $1,900 value based on phone, watch, and tablet. Trade in and additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted to walk up with central air and a skylight, and you found it. Now, every Friday night, you get to fall asleep to the sound of your downstairs neighbors' dance parties. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
The official Eras Tour book coming to Target on November 29th, featuring over 500 photographs from the tour, including never-before-seen performance and behind-the-scenes images. And for the first time, the Tortured Poets Department, The Anthology, with 35 tracks on CD and vinyl.
Only at Target.
This Thanksgiving at Total Wine & More, find bourbons and Cabernets that you adore.
With curbside pickup and delivery available and the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday afternoon at 6:30. After a 13-year hiatus, the Aggies take on the Texas Longhorns. Presented by Ewald Kubota and the Angry Elephant. Pre-game at 5:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Hearing Big Voice Guy talk about that game on Saturday, Texas A&M. We're going to start the party on Wednesday. The Blitz is going to be live out at the Angry Elephant, 281 and Redland Road, right there next to the Rue Pub. Aggie-owned Angry Elephant. That's the place. If you're not going to College Station, you want to be at the Angry Elephant on Saturday. We're going to start the celebration Wednesday as we're live 2 to 6. That's also a big party night because, everybody's home. You don't work on Thursday.
That's right.
You got to deal with family, so go have a good time. Start with us on Wednesday, and if you're looking for last-minute tickets to that game, you might need a loan.
You might need to win the lottery. A loan might not get it done unless it's a mortgage loan.
I saw somebody sent this to us earlier. Texas A&M and Texas, Saturday, the most expensive regular season football ticket, NFL and college football on record. Average purchase price is almost $1,100. The current get-in is at $741. Now, what I think about, that's probably on those apps. So then you put in all those stupid fees, which is why you need to call a guy like John over at Awesome Tickets. No fees. And he'll make sure you get a good ticket. But you see that, and you go, man. And you also wonder how many people will be paying for next semester just trying to sell their ticket for this one.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's going to be a wild one. So, again, if you're not willing to drop that kind of money, they got TVs over at the Angry Elephant. It's going to be a wild time. Angry will have the Aggies. Rue Pub will have the Longhorns, and it's going to be a fun time Saturday over there at 281 and Redland Road. Again, Wednesday, we're there live from 2 to 6. And I think about John over at Awesome Tickets. I know it's Monday. It's a weird week because of the holiday. As soon as tonight's game's over, although you can jump ahead, get your picks in for the Pro Football Pick'em Challenge because at the end of the year, the local grand prize winner gets $1,000 worth of tickets from Awesome Tickets. Weekly winners get that gift card over to the Mellow Mushroom.
That would almost pay for a ticket to the Longhorns Aggies game.
Well, you
$1,000.
You could get in. You just got to stand in a bathroom. Apparently,
well,
I don't know the get-in prices.
That's incredible. I mean, there's an article on website I saw today. It's approaching Super Bowl levels ticket prices. It's incredible. It really is.
Well, again, you look at this is the most expensive regular season football ticket, both NFL and college football on record. Think about some of the prices we've seen for Alabama when they've come to College Station, or this year the Georgia game, that it's going to top that. And I do think because it's been so long since these two have played, that regardless, you just want to say you were there and be able to witness history. That's what it really is.
Well, and what baffles me, honestly, is that people were trying to keep this from happening again. And it makes no sense. And look, I'm throwing the darts right at you, Aggie fan, because they're so jealous of Texas that they just wanted them out of their life.
Yep.
And now we've got this game coming back up, and it's just there's no more exciting event taking place anywhere all season. I mean, you talk about even that Georgia-Texas game wasn't as big as what this is going to be, and so it's just a no-brainer. No-brainer to have this rivalry renewed and to keep it forever. It just would make no sense otherwise.
A&M opening with Notre Dame, Texas taking on Georgia. Both of them got a good little practice run for this main event.
Well, they both lost.
They did, but I mean, for A&M hosting, it was so incredible with game day there. Texas, it was an insane scene, but they've created like environments for both. So I think that little practice run will be good for both of them.
Well, it's going to be a hell of an atmosphere. There's no doubt about that.
Cannot wait.
And I just hope it's a good football game. I don't know.
That's what we all want.
Yeah, everybody wants a good football game.
Yeah, we'll have it. Before we talk about the NFL, little breaking Spurs news. The Spurs have made a little bit of NBA history. This will be very good for you when you're making bets with your buddies at the bar. Family in town, they start talking politics, you could drop this little nugget. Change the subject. Harrison Barnes has won our Western Conference Player of the Week in the NBA. You go, all right. But did you know the last time a Spur won Player of the Week honors? Want to guess, anybody? Anybody. Not Wemby. Wasn't Wemby.
No.
DeMar DeRozan in 2020. Pledge was typing up DeJounte Murray. Nope. DeMar DeRozan in 2020. So that's kind of interesting. You go back and you think about, all right, DeMar DeRozan has entered the chat. But Harrison Barnes sets NBA history. The latest into a career for a player to win the Player of the Week award. For the first time. This is his first ever.
The guy's been balling.
So he's in his 13th NBA season. Mike Conley, Andrew Holiday, both accomplished the feat in their 12th NBA season to get the Player of the Week award. And I'm guessing they email you a certificate, and you generally would get your mom to print it out and put it on the fridge. I'm not sure what Harrison does. Do you frame it, put magnets on it, put it on the fridge? What do you do? But that's good bar trivia for you to have. Useless knowledge. Harrison Barnes, the latest in his career to win Player of the Week honors, and the first Spur to do it since DeMar DeRozan.
That's incredible to me. I guess it shouldn't be, but it's pretty incredible, especially that Wemby didn't get it last year. But they Pledge just typed up a name that should have gotten it, and I mean, baffling. But
again, you go win some bets this week. Go win some bet. You want to know? Want to bet?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Well, it's a good trivia question when things get, the conversation goes south.
Could be a trivia question for something later in this very program.
Could be.
Possible.
I think that's a great idea, Jim.
Is it really?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's a great idea, Jim. Oh, Harrison. How about the Spurs playing well? Man, knocking off Golden State, who was hot as hell.
What do you mean it was hot?
They were. Golden State?
Oh, I thought you said it was, like the AC went out again.
Oh, no.
Honestly?
No. I said Golden State,
yeah.
who was hot as hell.
I was at hunting camp.
Yeah.
I have no idea, and we're watching football. I didn't know the Spurs beat Golden State until sometime on Sunday when I was checking scores. I didn't even see highlights of that game. So when you said that, I thought, AC went out again? Who played LeCramp? I had no idea.
And Spurs, we get Utah again.
Yeah, how about that?
They played Utah 10 times already this year.
Well, them in Houston. Eventually, you got to beat those guys.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Well, good for them. 9-8 on the season.
Mm-hmm.
Happy for them.
All right. What happened to the Houston Texans yesterday? And for you Texans fans, you talked all the crap last week and you earned it. You beat the Dallas Cowboys. You won your Super Bowl, and then you come back and you lose to the Titans?
Had a little hangover, apparently.
Possible. I mean, you look at it and you think about where Houston is. They're a good team. They're not a great team. But when is there serious conversation about the steps backwards that it seems that C.J. Stroud has made? I mean, last year, that guy could do no wrong and was the best quarterback in Texas. And all of it was, I mean, he was playing great last year. But you go back, Dak's rookie year, he played great, and then, it's been where? But, and I know the defense hasn't been there. Pledge is putting stuff up on the screen now. Texans defense has more second-half touchdowns than the offense. It's scary. At what point do you look at the offense? Do you look at C.J. Stroud? Jaden Daniels went from surefire rookie of the year to now that's going to Bo Nix, and Jaden doesn't even seem to be in the conversation anymore, but it's all happening in his rookie year. So, but what has happened with C.J. Stroud in that Houston Texans offense?
It happens. It seems to happen every year. You have a remarkable year. Nobody knows who you are. Then all of a sudden there's tape on you. And defensive coordinators are pretty damn smart. And that's what happens, and you just regress a little bit. I think C.J. will be just fine. But this is one of those years where, he's going to have some growing pains. That sophomore slump is for real, man.
It is. And I mean, some of the injuries to receivers, although I believe he's got his best one back.
He does.
He's got a good running game, although they failed to use him yesterday. You and I barely had as many yards as Mixon did.
Man.
Mixon fantasy owners madder than hell.
Yes, I'm one of them.
I know, I could tell. But when you look at it, CJ does not seem to be playing with the same level of confidence that he had last year. Just the idea of knowing exactly where he was going to go with the ball at all times and confident in his throws. And taking that safety yesterday, just the lack of field awareness. What the hell is that? I mean, he pulled an Orlovsky. I mean, there's no. I mean, again, just overall awareness.
Dan Orlovsky's got to be the happiest guy in the world today.
Well, I mean,
he has to be.
Guys have done it since Dan.
I know,
but it's still the Orlovsky. I will always be the Orlovsky.
Look, CJ's going to be fine. He's struggling a little bit now. That Texans team, they've had, the guy, I don't know what his sack numbers are, but the guy's been clobbered this year. I mean, he has literally been beaten up this year. And so he's going to be fine.
Now,
if I'm him, I'm feeling a little less confident too.
And again,
you got to get rid of the football quickly.
That's a valid reason. And again, reasons and excuses. Is it the offensive line? I mean, because you look at the Texans yesterday and you look at their stats. I mean, Will Levis just got clobbered. But what did CJ? He got sacked 4 times yesterday. But even in their win last week against the Cowboys, in which he was fairly clean in that game, he doesn't appear to have that same confidence in the huddle, at the line of scrimmage, that command of the offense, that command of the game that he had in that incredible rookie season. And call it a sophomore slump or what, but it is kind of alarming when you think about the Texans, and they're good, but they're far from a great team. And it's not just CJ, it's all over the board. But since the quarterback gets all the attention and accolades and they get all the criticism, where is the conversation about what has happened with C.J. Stroud when you look about that same conversation going around and you're talking about it with every other quarterback in the NFL that struggles? Nationally, not that the Texans get talked about a lot, but when they do, it's not on C.J., and that's kind of confusing.
Well, it should be. I mean, he deserves the criticism as well. Now, Pledge has pulled out some stats here. C.J.'s been sacked the second most times in the NFL. With 39. 39 times. Whew. They played 12 games.
That's a lot.
So think about that. What, 3 per? Right? 3 per. And Caleb Williams, and the difference between Caleb Williams, I watched a lot of that Bears-Vikings game yesterday because I really hadn't had a good look at Caleb Williams.
And you had the Bears.
Well, I did, but I actually I tied that game. I had 3 points. It was a hell of a comeback, by the way. They recovered an onside kick. I think it was the first time this year that anybody's done that.
Well, no, Dallas has done that. Dallas did it against Baltimore.
Oh, okay.
I think it's the 3rd or 4th.
All right. Well, anyway,
yeah.
They did that. They tie the game, goes to overtime, and they lose. But Caleb Williams, the difference, Williams started out poorly, but he's getting better. And the guy throws a really nice football. I'll be honest with you. His decision-making is not the greatest in the world, but – CJ's going to be fine. They've got to do something with that offensive line. Needs help. With everything else they've got, the talent that they've got offensive weapon-wise, they're going to be just fine. But he's got to have some time to throw the football, and he just doesn't have it right now. And I think he'll be fine. But, again, the good ones overcome that sophomore slump. Can C.J. Stroud do that?
You look at, again, the AFC South is, well, kind of bad. they've got a couple.
Kind of.
They do have a couple game lead on Indianapolis, so they're still going to win the division. But do you look at this team and think that they're going to make any noise in the postseason?
No.
And coming in, they were on that cusp of, all right, you got Kansas City, who's always going to be there, even though Kansas City just figures out how to win tight games no matter what. They don't blow anybody out. And then you got Baltimore, but you got trust issues with Baltimore. You got Buffalo, but you got trust issues with Buffalo. Could Houston insert themselves into that conversation?
No.
And that was the talk coming into this season. Last year's surprise raised expectations for this Houston Texans team, and they have failed to meet those expectations.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. And a part of that is C.J. Stroud's fault. He's not blameless. But they've got other issues as well. So we'll see how they do, and they figure out the rest of the season and where they go, and we'll see how they do in the playoffs. But I just think that C.J. Stroud should be okay, and that's going to be the challenge for him coming into next season.
210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Joshua, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
You know what, Jason? You're 100% right. CJ is part to blame on this, but let's not forget about the big elephant in the room in Bobby Slovic. That big, dumb doofus can't teach this offensive line how to not have a false start. Or teach the offense how to not have an illegal shift. That falls on the offensive coordinator. And let's also remember, the very first play against the Dallas Cowboys was a touchdown, a passing touchdown that had to get called back because your captain, your left tackle, your highest paid, or the top 5 left tackle paid in the NFL, went down the field and messed up that play. That's on the offensive coordinator not coaching right.
All right, so Josh, just so I understand this, last year when everybody was blaming Dan Quinn, you kind of insinuated that it wasn't his fault. But now we're going to blame Bobby when every Texan fan I know, I don't want to speak for you, but every Texan fan I know was desperately afraid that Bobby Slowick was going to get a head coaching job and leave after 1 year with C.J. Stroud. Now it's blame Bobby?
Oh, it's all blame Bobby.
It's all blame Bobby. So in less than a year, the guy went from you can't leave me to get the hell out?
Oh, in less than a year. Because you're looking at how the coaching is on there. You're looking at how this offensive line hasn't played. Last year, he was actually calling plays better to where it aided a bad offensive line. Because he called a game to where, since they had just a makeshift offensive line every week, he called the offense differently. This year, he's trying to call it like he has a top 5 offensive line, and these bums can't block a single soul out there.
Well, I mean wait a minute. Yeah. Hold on, Joshua. Let me ask you a question. Did these guys just forget how to play football? I mean,
I think so.
Well,
I think something happened.
Bobby Slowick's fault?
I think Bobby Slovic's trying to play the stat game, thinks he has Joe Mixon, who's the second coming of Earl Campbell. And again, Joe Mixon is very great. Joe Mixon is very great. Joe Mixon has won me some games in fantasy, but let's also remember, I took Joe Mixon in the 3rd round because I saw Saquon Barkley sitting there, and I knew Joe Mixon, he was going to be going against a bad offensive line. So, and again, you also can't run against the Tennessee defense because Tennessee does have the number 1 rush defense in the league. I'm pretty sure it kind of stood pat with how they held Joe Mixon in check, and that's
Does D'Amico Ryans not have any blame in this at all?
No,
it's blame
Come on,
Bobby.
Joshua, please.
It's blame Bobby.
Please.
I
Are
love
you kidding me? I mean, that defense isn't exactly stellar. And isn't that D'Amico's?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his expertise. Look, everybody's to blame. And, you know, I know we put this on coaches and coordinators and all of this stuff, and I get that. But Laramie Tunsil ought to know better than to go downfield. Does Slowick have to get in his ear and say, hey, remember, don't be illegally downfield? I mean, come on. He's been playing football his entire life. He knows better than that. It's not all Slowick's fault. A lot of it is.
On a scripted play like that, that's a great play. But, you know, as Josh said, it's blame Bobby.
It is.
Blame
and I get that.
Bobby.
And that seems to be the talking point in Houston as well.
I was the guy. I was the Turk. I was Bad News Billy.
Yeah, blame Bobby. Somebody's got to be that. Good stuff.
Love you, Joshua. Good call, buddy.
My friend John just sent me an incredible Aggie stat. We'll get into that coming up on the Headline Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com. 1, 2, 3, Cowboys! South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Thursday at 3:30. It's the Cowboys' 58th straight Thanksgiving Day matchup as the boys welcome the New York Giants to Jerry World.
I like this kind of party!
Pre-game starts at 2:30. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Nigel, why is there a giant turkey standing on my desk?
That's Harold.
Well, then whisper these words, Nigel. Deep fried. From all of us at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, we hope your Thanksgiving is filled with food, family, and fellowship. We couldn't ask for a better community to be a part of. So thank you, and happy Thanksgiving from all of us here at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, 651-5899.
License number TACLA 141074E and 16004.
It's time to huddle up and listen close. For 2024, we pay tribute to a true game changer in the world of snacks, the unrivaled, the unbeatable, the pork rind. Yes, it's crunch time, and we're not just talking about the last few nail-biting minutes of the game. We're talking about a snack so audaciously crunchy, it puts those pretentious chips and pretzels to shame. So here's to you, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds, for being more than just a crunch. Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. It's crunch time. Find your rind at H-E-B.
If you're tired of drinking the same old beer, good news for you, friends. Karbach Brewing has you covered. They've got something for everybody in their lineup. No matter what you like, they can improve on what you've been drinking. Whether it's a Hopadillo, a Love Street, or a Crawford Bock, they've got something for everybody. And Karbach has one of the leading IPAs in San Antonio, Hopadillo IPA, an iconic Texas IPA packed with the bitterness of hops from around the world that the hop monster craves. And one of Karbach's leading brands, the top seller in San Antonio, in fact, is the Love Street Blonde. It's a state of mind, a San Antonio state of mind. It's a Kolsch-style blonde, hopped delicately with floral German hops. This beer has the clean malt profile that you're looking for. And if you're used to drinking cerveza, they've got that as well. The Karbach Cerveza Especial is right for you. Like I said, something for everybody. And when you're in Houston, make sure you go check out the brewery, check out all the beers they have on tap. But while you're here in San Antonio, you want to try something new, why don't you try out a Karbach?
At the Institute for Functional Health, we are dedicated to helping you live life fully, playing with your kids, golfing, and feeling great without relying on pills. We're not about treating symptoms temporarily. We're about extending your health span, the years you live in good health. I'm Dr. Torres, and for over a decade, my team has transformed lives by tackling health issues at the root. Tired of medications without real answers? Take control of your health with us. Call 210-468-1891 for a free Discovery Day consultation or visit iffhealth.com. Improve your health span today.
Jason Minix here from the Blitz for Underdog Fantasy, the place to play if you're a sports fan looking to win money while watching sports. And I love playing the Pick'em game at Underdog Fantasy, where you can win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on player stats. Think basketball, think football. You can mix, you can match across your other favorite sports and leagues and win money watching sports. And this season, Underdog will be running a special promo or bonus almost every single day, like Profit Boost. Pump up your winnings in just a tap when you apply the boost to eligible entries. Discounts, you'll get adjusted projections on certain player stats to give you a better shot at the win, and they're basically a sure thing with their free picks. A player just has to get higher than 0.5 for that stat pick to win. All new users get a free pick. So download the app, sign up with promo code STAR, and deposit now to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Promo code STAR. Must be 18 or over, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a walk-up with central air and a skylight. and you found it. Now, every Friday night, you get to fall asleep to the sound of your downstairs neighbor's dance parties. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this. If something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Spurs' Harrison Barnes has been named as the Western Conference Player of the Week. First Spur to receive that honor since DeMar DeRozan back in 2020. Also, Harrison Barnes' first such honor. By the way, the Spurs beat the Warriors over the weekend. They are now 9-8 on the season. They return to action tomorrow night in Utah against the Jazz. And how about those Cowboys? They snapped that 5-game losing streak, beat the Commanders yesterday.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along on this Monday afternoon on the radio. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. You can always comment there. One of the various apps. However you're listening, thanks for tuning in.
Absolutely. We appreciate it very much. And thanks for sending the jokes. You see on our YouTube page, John sent an Aggie joke.
Oh, really? Which one?
Yeah, it says, how many Aggie freshmen does it take to screw in a light bulb? 0. That's a second-year course.
'Tis the week, is it not?
Oh, that's funny.
'Tis the week. Yeah, speaking of funny, Reinagel needs a good game tonight from Derrick Henry.
I do, yeah.
In fantasy football. And I've got a massive lead on Phil Anaya in our league, Phil Anaya from Channel 5. We're in a group with Channel 5 types.
Right.
And we were, who had Saquon? Of all people, Paul Morales.
Oh,
in this particular league.
How many points did he get?
59.
59.
He's playing Bob Ballou this week. Bob is done.
Yeah.
Bob scored 70 this week. He's currently down 102 to 70. And Paul Morales has Lamar Jackson and Zay Flowers going tonight.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Saquon almost beat Bob all by himself.
All by himself. Now,
wow.
Pledge, you raised your hand. You have Saquon in a league?
Yeah, I got him in quite a few leagues.
In quite a few leagues. How many leagues are you in?
I am in 8 leagues.
Eight leagues.
Which is ridiculous.
It is.
Because I heard from a little birdie named Bo LaHue over at the Golf Club of Texas. You're in a league over there.
I am.
And you're in dead last.
Yes.
Dead last. I hear how much you suck in that league, and I was like, funny. All I hear about James talking about he's in first in this league, second in that league. I never asked him how many leagues he was in. But you never once have mentioned that you're in dead last in the Golf Club of Texas league.
I am in dead last in the Golf Club of Texas league.
What happened?
C.J. Stroud was my keeper. And then I also drafted Caleb Williams, and that hasn't been working.
No, that hasn't worked out too well, has it?
I just find it funny you have not bragged about being in dead last in that league.
People brag about being dead last?
Yeah, people do that. Well, Minix might be used to that.
I don't know. I've got the lowest scoring team in our league, yet I'm tied for second.
It makes no sense. And you're going to win this week.
And I'm going to win this week.
And
you might lose.
I might.
Because right now you and I are tied.
We are.
Yeah. So do I want Derrick Henry to have a big game or not?
Well, it depends. I'll let you know because I figure at this point, it depends on who I bet on tonight.
Mm-hmm. You haven't decided yet?
Well, I kind of have, and it ain't Derrick Henry.
Ooh.
It's the Hardball Bowl. Say that 5 times.
Well, one has never beaten the other one.
I think it's John, or is it Jim? It hadn't won. One of the two.
Jim has not won because John won a Super Bowl against his brother and all that kind of stuff.
I don't trust Baltimore at all, defensively especially. I just don't trust them, and I think the Chargers have a pretty good defense.
They do.
And they're playing well, too.
They're playing well.
That Baltimore team's not bad.
No, I mean, they're not bad. Their defense sucks. It's really not good.
Sucks?
It's not good.
Sucks?
It's mediocre. How about that?
Yeah.
Maybe it doesn't suck, but it's mediocre.
And they could be without a key piece of that defense tonight. Roquan Smith, hamstring injury.
There you go.
Yeah.
See that?
We'll see. Let's do the headline blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Two guys, two opinions, never enough time.
Texas A&M, Saturday. Game you can listen to here on 94.1, brought to you by The Angry Elephant and Ewald Kubota. In fact, we're going to be live at The Angry Elephant on Wednesday because we're not working Thursday or Friday. So we're going to be out there Wednesday to start the pregame parties, and I imagine that's when the tailgating is going to start up there in College Station.
Yeah.
But my buddy John Robbins, who is through and through Aggie, except when he wears Georgia Bulldog gear, make that make sense, just sent me this interesting stat. And John is my stat guy, like for high school football and interesting nuggets. You hear Greeny and talk about Hembo. Well, John's like Hembo, right? He always pulls out these bizarre stats. Opposing offensive lines have not been called for holding against the Aggies since the second quarter against Bowling Green in Week 4. 30 straight quarters without a call.
Wow. I mean, that's unheard of because you can call holding just about every play.
Well, you have to have a pass rush to get a holding call.
Exactly.
That could be a problem on Saturday.
It could be. It could very well be. The only thing I think that's going to help, and I'll be honest with you, the Aggies, pretty good home team. They suck on the road.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Where was
just,
that Notre Dame game?
It's just true. Well, it was the first game of the season.
Oh, okay.
Just saying.
So they're going to bookend it with losses, huh? Pretty good except the beginning and the end.
I'm just pissed that, Notre Dame beat Army soundly, by the way.
Yeah. Army gets UTSA this week.
They do.
You look at – I'm pissed at the Aggies because I thought they could go on the road and beat Auburn. I knew it would be tough, night game in the SEC.
Uh-huh.
Because you take Texas A&M, it doesn't need any hype. Both of these teams could have 2 wins on the year, and it's going to be insane. But if the Aggies don't fumble and end up losing that game in overtime, and they had the right plays. I mean, they just didn't execute when it mattered most. But if the Aggies beat Auburn, you're talking about Texas A&M with the winner guaranteed a spot in the SEC championship game. You take this rivalry and give it a triple dose of steroids. It would be insane. It still will be, but it could have been, what does the SEC say? It means more? Could you imagine if the SEC championship spot was on the line for this first game back with this rivalry?
Look, I was worried about both teams, to be honest with you, Texas and Texas A&M, because you can't help. I don't care what you say. I mean, hell, even Mike Elko was looking forward to the Texas game. He said as much. It's hard not to look past whoever you're playing. I don't care how good they are or what the deal is. And going up on the road against Auburn, where Auburn, that for them, I mean, that's a bowl game. You beat the Aggies and you're feeling pretty good about yourself. And they did. That's why I was worried about it. Texas, I would have been more worried about Texas if they were playing at Kentucky than I was with them being in Austin. But it was a trap game for both teams, without a doubt.
We'll talk some more college football coming up here in a bit. But as we continue on the headline blitz, got to be very careful with this next story. And quite frankly, this is probably better if you guys just all Google search this story.
Yeah.
But, every team, every franchise, you win a game, you lose a game, whatever. They put a final score deal on social media. And the Philadelphia 76ers, their font choice for their graphic the other day is unfortunate. That might be the best way to say it, because it says Philadelphia 99. Now, they lost, and they certainly took it in the shorts in this game. They lost 125-99. But the font they used between the 99 and the 125, where it says final, because of the font, the F and the I actually look like an A.
It's kind of like a backdoor cold front.
It really is.
Yeah.
Because
right.
when you look at it, it doesn't spell Final. It looks like
a backdoor cold front.
The F and the I are an A, and you guys can figure out the rest, right? It's a bad font. They need to cover that up.
I don't know who thought that was a good idea.
Well, I'm sure when they were typing it out on a screen, maybe it looked like there was some space there, but then yeah.
Well, it's pretty much Philly did get a little backdoor cold front. That's for sure.
They took it in the short.
They did.
Yeah.
That team's a disaster.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. And I see where Embiid is not expected to play again. I think they play tonight. He's out again with some injury. He's just that team is just a disaster.
The font doesn't work there. I know because the City Edition jerseys, they were going with this retro look, but even the retro look wouldn't have been good in the 70s, 80s, whatever they're going for. It's just bad all the way around.
Yeah, it is.
Bad all the way around.
Couldn't happen to a better team.
So Shaquille O'Neal in a little hot water with the WNBA. He thinks they need to lower the rim.
You know, I understand where he's coming from. Now, obviously the players in the WNBA don't want that happening, but he's talking about dunks, right? People like dunks. Well, you don't have that in the WNBA for the most part. And, I mean, every now and then somebody will do it, but for the most part, you don't have it. And he was saying, if you're not going to do it during games, how about your all-star game? You lower the rim and let's have some wild dunks. I don't think he has any ill intent by it, but he's saying people like dunks.
Yeah. It's a below-the-rim game. It's a different game. But I'm with you, but the WNBA people are taking shots.
Yeah, they don't want that.
They don't want that.
No, they don't.
They don't want that. It's kind of wild when you look at it. You got to explain the next story.
I will. Mav McNeely, you probably have never heard of him, but he is the newest PGA Tour winner.
Mav McNeely sounds like a made-up character.
Won a golf tournament over the weekend. He won $1.2 million, something like that, as the prize. Well, every time he wins $50,000 or more in a golf tournament, well, he sends his grandmother flowers.
Okay.
Right. So, obviously, he's got to send his grandmother flowers, and this time he said he's going to throw in some chocolate too, right? And he said, I don't ever want to stop doing it because my grandmother is a witch. And if I stop, she'll put a spell on me. Now, this is for real. This is the man said this.
So is like a real witch.
Like a witch.
Like she could put a spell on you.
Apparently she can. I don't know.
His name is Mav McNeely. It sounds like something you would see in a Halloween movie where your grandma's a witch. She's going to...
It sounds like a sitcom.
Well...
Hey, Mav! I mean, come on. What? Who the hell? Mav.
Well, maybe his real name is Maverick.
Well, it could be.
Maverick McNeely. I mean, he's a country club type that grew up and made it to the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
Anytime I win $50,000, I spend $70 delivering flowers to Grandma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First of all, you're a cheapskate. Why don't you send her something better than that?
Well, $50,000 is sorry, Grandma, no flowers this week. Only 145.
What's the tour? The minor league tour pledge. What's
well, it used to be like the Hooters tour or the Nationwide tour.
The Corn Ferry now.
Corn Ferry.
Yeah,
that's
there you go. Yeah, Corn Ferry.
Wasn't there a movie about a corn fairy?
I don't know what you watch at home. Sounds like something with a guy named Toe Reinig who has a foot fetish would watch some porn called The Corn Fairy.
With a magic wand.
Let's not get back into the final scores of the Philadelphia game.
Oh, my goodness. I'm assuming is that a company name, Corn Fairy?
Google it later.
I don't know if can I do that on the company?
Have you forgotten the direction you were going with your story?
Well, no, that's pretty much it. I mean, Mav's going to get his grandmother's a witch, and I'm assuming he means that as in the Wizard of Oz witch,
Wicked, like the movie Wicked that's out.
Right? Yeah,
that makes sense.
Corn Fairy.
Let's get into some college football coming up.
Crazy weekend again.
Alabama loses.
Done.
To Oklahoma. It's
don't have to worry about Bama in the playoffs
320.
anymore.
I know you still sucks. Well, with this committee, I need to see it first. This committee. What about Ole Miss? We'll get into all of that.
They're
coming
done.
up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Nigel, why is there a giant turkey standing on my desk?
That's Harold.
Well, then whisper these words, Nigel. Deep fried. From all of us at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, we hope your Thanksgiving is filled with food, family, and fellowship. We couldn't ask for a better community to be a part of. So thank you, and happy Thanksgiving from all of us here at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, 651-5899.
License number TACLA 141074E and 16004.
At the Home Depot, the holidays have arrived.
And so is all my family. So I'm working on keeping up with the laundry.
The Home Depot is here to help with Black Friday savings up to 40% off select appliances. Spend less time doing laundry with smart, efficient appliances from Samsung, ranked #1 in customer satisfaction.
Perfect. Less laundry time means more family time.
Get Black Friday savings now with free delivery and financing on select appliances at the Home Depot. Visit jdpower.com/awards for more details. Offer valid November 6th through December 4th. U.S. only. See store or online for details.
In Texas, your spouse can claim alimony after just 10 years of marriage. Do you know your countdown? I guarantee she does. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. If you're considering divorce, it's absolutely crucial to understand your options right now. Don't let alimony catch you off guard. Protect what you've built and secure your hard-earned assets. Visit TexasDivorce.com. At Barton & Associates, we focus on navigating the complexities of divorce law to ensure you're not left vulnerable. Divorce is tough, but you have a choice. Take control of the process or allow your spouse to dictate the terms. If you're serious about safeguarding what you have built and your financial future, Barton & Associates is the team for you. We'll act swiftly and decisively, ensuring that you're not taken advantage of. Call Barton & Associates at 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
It's JCPenney's best Black Friday ever. Shop thousands of deals all week long, like $14.99 small appliances from Cooks or Black & Decker. Get boots and more boots for women, just $19.99. And cozy up to the women's St. John's Bay cable, the sweater lived in and loved by millions, now $9.99. There's even a matching sweater for your dog. More holiday, bigger savings. JCPenney, make it count. Offers valid on select styles through 11/30. Deals excluded from coupons. See store or jcp.com for details.
Football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown, and he throws a block, and his teammate scores instead. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to gamble responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age and older. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards concert tickets for your daughter to see that singer who sings about painful breakups. And one song will inspire your little beauty to break up with that beast she's dating, Brian. Instead, she'll date someone who's nice and worthy of her love, not someone who addresses you and your spouse as bro. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, not available in all states.
Hey, sports fans, if you're not calling John Anthony, you're simply missing out. To prove it, I'm releasing your Monday Night Report absolutely free on recorded message line. 1-800-244-5506. Baltimore at Los Angeles. Baltimore has a potent offense capable of explosive plays both through the air and on the ground. LA and their talented receiving corps can stretch the field and make the big plays. Tonight is going to be a monster game. I've got the side and total. That's 2 big plays. John Anthony has you covered. Call now. Hear him for free on recorded message. 1-800-244-5506. Information wins. Call 1-800-244-5506. You want the information? I've got it. Baltimore, LA, side and total. I love to go 2-0. Get the next 7 days for free on me. 1-800-244-5506. That's 1-800-244-5506. Or go to johnanthonysports.com.
Sponsored by JFSR Group.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. On Twitter, at Joe Reinagel210. Tweet at me, at Jason Minix. The station, at SA Sports Star. Same handles for Instagram. Make sure you're following all. Go follow at SA Sports Star on Instagram. We do a lot of different contests over there. And I want to correct something I said earlier if it wasn't clear. Texas A&M winner does play for a right in the SEC championship game. I was hoping, and if I wasn't clear on this, that both would be coming in off of wins. I didn't want anybody to stumble coming into the game. The excitement level and a berth is there, but, A&M beats Auburn, Texas beats Kentucky, and you get to College Station and the hype around everything. And there's no taking any juice off of this thing. And with the way things played out Saturday with both Ole Miss and Alabama losing, Georgia's already clinched a spot.
Yeah.
They get the winner of Texas A&M.
Well, I tell you what, though, they do play this week. They play Georgia Tech, and that's not going to be an easy game for them.
But it doesn't affect the SEC's standings.
And wouldn't Texas like to have another crack at the Bulldogs?
Yeah. I would think.
Look, it's going to be a hell of a game, and for the stakes to be that high, everybody's excited about this game anyway, but for the right to play in the SEC championship game, it's going to be a monster game.
A monster game.
A monster.
Huge. Big. You look at this weekend in college football, and let's start. Congratulations to UTSA. They got that incredible win over Temple on Friday night. That gets them bowl eligibility. We'll talk with Jeff Traylor coming up at 5:15. We're also going to talk NIL here in about 10 minutes. And congratulations to the UIW Cardinals.
Yes.
Outright Southland Conference champions. They are the 6th seed in the FCS playoff. So they get a first-round bye and will host on December 7th, a second-round game over at Benson Stadium, which will just be cool that they get to host a playoff game.
No, I think it's great. Good for them. Great season for them. Good luck. Go get it all.
That's it. They
Why
got
not?
They got a chance to play for a national championship. When you look at how the bracket goes, it obviously will be a tough road, but they're either going to get Villanova or Eastern Kentucky on December 7th. So
all right.
Getting the first-round bye and hosting a playoff game, a huge deal for UIW. So congrats to Coach Killo and everybody over there with what they've been able to do. It was an interesting day in college football. Indiana, welcome back to earth.
Yeah. Yes. Ohio State rolled them. I watched a little bit of that game, and it wasn't even that close, honestly.
Not really.
No, it really wasn't. Hey, look, Indiana, the knock on them was they hadn't played anybody, and it showed. And you get in an atmosphere like that, which they're not used to being in, And it showed. Ohio State was ready for the challenge.
And they get Michigan this week. Oregon had a bye. They get Washington this week. It's kind of the weird, I don't know, what do you call it? The rivalry weekend that was.
Yep.
And kind of still is with some of these matchups. But all in all, I mean, you look at what we should get this weekend in college football.
Good games.
Dude, this is – I mean, Thanksgiving weekend typically is there, but with all the super conferences, I'm glad some of the more traditional rival games are still going to be played this week, even if they are non-conference late in the year. Like, not that Georgia Tech, but it's still going to be there. Notre Dame, what did they get? USC this weekend?
Whoop-de-doo.
Well, I mean, because USC is down, but and then you got to pay attention to Colorado. They lose to Kansas.
Jeez. How about Kansas all of a sudden?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Knocking off two big-time schools back-to-back weeks. And boy, I tell you what, they took it to Colorado. They really did. And it was they're playing great football. It's just too bad they didn't start a little sooner.
I saw, well, and you look at Colorado losing. Now all of a sudden Arizona State and a lot of the projections are projecting to be the Big 12 champion and make it to the playoffs. That could send Colorado to the Valero Alamo Bowl. And how fun would that be to have Deion Sanders in that group here? My concern, would Travis Hunter opt out? Would Shedeur Sanders opt out if they're playing in the Valero Alamo Bowl? I hope not. By most of the projections that I've seen, BYU will be on their way here, and Colorado, maybe Washington State seem to be the two most consistent to face BYU, although it all depends on what happens this weekend.
Yeah, going to be interesting. That'd be a good matchup, and it would be great if Colorado came here, but you'd have to take that with a grain of salt because there's no way Travis Hunter's going to play in that game. He just wouldn't.
Again, I'm with you. I hope that's not the case, but trying to live in a realistic world.
Now, Shedeur
wouldn't play in that game either.
Well, I wouldn't think so.
If he's going to the NFL draft.
So, that's the shame with what's happening in college football, and I get it. But the other bowl games, because I guarantee if Colorado's in the playoffs,
they're playing.
That's a different story, right? So, the Valero Alamo Bowl, I just hope they get included in playoff talk in the near future
soon. And they I would say they need to. They're at that level that it feels like for the last several years, one of the teams that is coming is disappointed that they're coming to San Antonio because they're high enough on the pecking order that you're getting the team that almost made the playoffs, and they're not in the playoffs, and so they're coming here. One team's excited to be here, and one isn't. I remember that a couple of years ago with Texas. I think Kansas State had a game not that long ago that was that way. And so you look at it, and it will end up being a really good game. And I'm excited to think, all right, man, Prime could be coming here, Colorado. How cool would that be? And then my first thought was, but I wonder who's actually going to play if Colorado comes here. Would Shedeur Sanders opt out? Would Travis Hunter opt out?
My gut tells me they would. I mean, and it makes sense for them to do that, playing in a game that, it's a reward for the schools for sure. But for those players that are going on to the NFL, I understand the caution.
In today's world of college football, dumb question, but one worth asking. Can bowl games pay players to play? And I say that. I know they all get gifts and they can spend up to whatever that dollar amount is for gifts. That used to be the thing. But if Colorado is coming here, could Valero pony up a couple extra dollars for Shedeur and for Travis Hunter to play in the game? Is that legal in today's world?
I don't think so, but I don't know the answer to it 100%. Now, could that change at some point in time? Who knows? A lot of changes coming, big changes to college football and how players are going to be paid. But I don't know. It's a good question.
I wonder with some of the NIL money, does that also include bowl games? I mean, maybe as we're talking about no way they're playing, well, maybe their NIL contract says they have to.
You know what? And if it doesn't, it should.
And you wonder when schools start paying with the revenue share model that is going to come into effect, do you include bowl games in that? Because this revenue share model is going to be very interesting, and how a school like UTSA participates will also be interesting. Let's get into that conversation. Coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine is excited to announce a partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. It's called the HURT app, and it provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. HURT is the app to have before you need it. Don't wait for an injury to happen. Download HURT now for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. The HURT app is available in the App Store and Google Play. Learn more about the HURT app and the OrthoNow Injury Clinic online at tsaog.com. That's tsaog.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle, the inevitable return of Rob Thompson. We got to talk the Cowboys game with him. Got to talk the Aggies game with him. That should be fun. Plus, who came out on top in the Harbaugh Bowl? It's the Morning Huddle. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter? Right? And the best part? They accept Discover. Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Jason Minix here from the Blitz for Underdog Fantasy, the place to play if you're a sports fan looking to win money while watching sports. And I love playing the Pick'em game at Underdog Fantasy, where you can win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on player stats. Think basketball, think football. You can mix, you can match across your other favorite sports and leagues and win money watching sports. And this season, Underdog will be running a special promo or bonus almost every single day, like Profit Boost. Pump up your winnings in just a tab when you apply the boost to eligible entries. Discounts, you'll get adjusted projections on certain player stats to give you a better shot at the win, and they're basically a sure thing with their free picks. A player just has to get higher than 0.5 for that stat pick to win. All new users get a free pick. So download the app, sign up with promo code STAR, and deposit now to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Promo code STAR. Must be 18 or over, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Shop Dell Technologies Black Friday event for their lowest prices of the year. The future is on sale today with limited time deals on select PCs like the XPS 16 that accelerate AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. Black Friday is their biggest sale of the year and the best time to upgrade, but it's only here for a limited time. Shop now at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a walk-up with central air and a skylight, and you found it. Now, every Friday night, you get to fall asleep to the sound of your downstairs neighbors' dance parties. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text BAIL to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Let's face it, winter can be a hard season. It's cold pretty much all the time. Blizzard. You have to shovel. Another blizzard. You slip on ice. But you know what makes winter suck a little less? Getting a free phone. Join Cricket Nation and get a free Samsung Galaxy A15 5G. Ooh, ouch. Welcome to enjoying more. Welcome to Cricket Nation. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. Must open a new line on the $60 unlimited plan. First month service charge and tax due at sale. Fees, terms, and other restrictions apply. See cricketwireless.com for details.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-575-9047.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-9047. That's 800-575-9047.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
What's that? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. You can always subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix on this Monday afternoon.
Great to have you along on this Monday afternoon. A little holiday week this week. Thanksgiving on Thursday. Hope everybody's ready. Going to have some fun with family and friends.
Absolutely. And, maybe you're taking a couple of days off or light work around the office, whatever the case is. We're working Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Wednesday, the Blitz is going to be live out at the Angry Elephant, 281 in Redland Road, right next door to the Roo Pub, getting you ready for Aggies Longhorns, which will be an incredible game on Saturday night.
Boy, and if you're not going to the game, that is a perfect place to go watch it.
Yes.
Man, it is going to be rocking. In both the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant. Both places will be rocking, no doubt.
281 in Redland Road, and I know they open at 11. You want to get in and watch UTSA take on Army. UTSA is bowl eligible after beating Temple. They get an Army team coming up that's good, but coming off of a beatdown to Notre Dame. Woo. The Navy ME says, yeah, I saw that before. But you look at it, and Jeff Traylor will join us coming up at 5:15. And we plan on asking him about this Mike Finger column from over the weekend because it is interesting, and Jeff Traylor has talked about this some with us here on the Blitz. The headline in the San Antonio Express News, next question for Roadrunners, how committed are we going to be? And Mike Finger with the Express News has a great column about what is UTSA going to do when that revenue share model in college football starts. Because we know next July, schools will have the option, and it is an option, although is it, of sharing revenue. But so far, decisions on how much revenue can be shared, they haven't been made, and that's at the top levels all the way down. And Mike Finger writes, bigger schools like Texas A&M, they could probably share what the max is going to be, which per details, as Mike Finger writes, a House NCAA settlement awaiting final approval in April, schools will be allowed to share up to $20.5 million annually with athletes. Now, there's no way in hell UTSA is going to be able to do that kind of percentage. But they keep their revenues pretty close to the vest. According to Mike Finger's article, last year, the American Athletic Conference commissioner suggested that there would be a salary floor a number as low as $1 million that schools in the league must meet.
Now, that's not just for football, though. Keep that in mind. It's for all athletes, right? So they all get to split the pot, whatever that pot is going to be. But as Mike Finger goes on to write, I mean, at some point in time, UTSA, the folks that run that institution, are going to have to decide, do you want to be a big-time college football program or don't you? You're moving conferences like, it's going out of style, and you're trying to get up as big as you can. But if you're going to compete in those conferences, you're going to have to play the game, and the game is money. And look, let's face it, and this is no disrespect to any of those other athletes or sports. Football is the face of a university's program. I mean, it is. It is the face of a university. That's where the majority of that money needs to go.
100%. Front porch is often referred to, you know, and that's the football program. Face, front porch, whatever you want to call it. And we know whether it's Lisa Campos, the athletic director, whether it's the president, Dr. Amy, whatever the case is, they talk a lot. And I even tweeted this yesterday. Will they put their money where their mouth is? Because minimums aren't going to get it done. When you look at the NIL deal that Memphis has with FedEx. So you take that NIL money, couple it with what the university is going to do. You look at North Texas and what they've already talked about doing. You know, UTSA can't come in and say, okay, the minimum is this. This is what we're going to do. Now, Mike Finger writes in the Express News that UTSA still isn't getting a full share of the American payout for the TV contract. And I don't know what those details are. When you ask for those kind of deals, they tend not to share. So who knows, and who knows when they will get a full share. But at the very least, when it comes to the revenue share model, UTSA needs to be, if they're not at the top of the list, they need to be close. If they're middle of the pack, that might not be enough if we want to keep a winning program in San Antonio. And Jeff Traylor said on this show a couple of weeks ago, he's not worried about Owen McCown leaving. So he's got a couple more years with Owen. They still got to get him some money, but there's some loyalty there that apparently the financial spot isn't the deciding factor like it will be for some kids at some schools. That and his dad is coaching in the NFL now and played forever in the NFL. So, you know, the need isn't there, but he's not playing for free. And that's just not the way college football is anymore. Even if we all hate the idea, that's the way it is. So you got to play the game.
Yeah, loyalty is one thing, and I get that, and I'm glad that Owen McCown is that way, but he's going to get offers.
Yes.
I mean, you know damn good and well he's going to get offers. They're going to offer him money. Other schools are. He's just played so well, especially late. Man, that kid is really playing some football these days. But it's not just that. You got to put players around him, and I'm happy that universities are going to be allowed to participate in something like that. I still think that there should be guardrails. There should be something. And what I mean by that is contracts. There should be contracts. There should be salary caps. There should be all kinds of stuff. It's come to that point where we've got to put some guardrails, for lack of a better word, up. And we've been saying it. But if you're going now to let the schools do this, what's the difference between a school paying it and an NFL team paying? It should be under the same type of umbrella and run the same way.
Well, and you look at from a revenue share model, and how do you define your revenue? Because money in, bills paid, you know, that's your profit, but how much are they willing to share? How much of their revenue, if you will, is earmarked for this facility improvement, that facility improvement, you know, salaries, bonuses, buying new hats and gear and all that other kind of stuff. But there is a cap, and you know places like Texas and Texas A&M are going to hit that cap.
Sure they are.
Sure, that's easy to do and easy for me to say, not my money. But seems easy to do for all those major programs. Program like UTSA, there's a salary floor, and if that's what they're going to do, all right, they're going to have to come up with $1 million if they go with that number. But if everybody else is spending, you know, between 5 and 8, UTSA is going to be left behind. And it's not just schools at the UTSA level like in the American. With my daughter at Arizona State, I've been paying a lot of attention to Arizona State football. And, man, you talk about a turnaround. And they've become my Big 12 team since Texas moved on to the SEC. And what a great introductory season in the Big 12 for Arizona State. And their coach, a guy named Kenny Dillingham. And this guy is fun to listen to, fun to watch when he's doing his press conferences, love his style. But even Saturday, after they had another upset win, Coach Kenny Dillingham was talking about the importance of the NIL.
I wore this shirt today, right, for the Sun Angel Collective for a purpose. Is if you had fun watching him play and make those plays, like, it was there all night. It was there all night because it's a different day and age in college football. And if that was something that we want to continue to do, then what's that saying? Pay the man his money, right? Isn't that like a saying? Like, pay the man his money. Like, pay these guys what they deserve to be paid. Because right now, our team is underpaid. And we're doing more with guys who just got it out the mud. But eventually, you should get what you deserve. And our guys deserve more. And that's why I wore this.
We could argue that, and that's a hilarious press conference. We could argue, what do they deserve? I mean, what's he talking about? So, a running back, a quarterback, a wide receiver, an offensive lineman. What is it that they deserve? And that's the problem that I have. So what do they deserve? I don't know. That's why it needs to be regulated, in my opinion, just like the NFL does it. College football needs to be run the same way.
With some sort of salary cap.
Yes.
And again, you look at Arizona State, they upset BYU 28-23. They're 9-2 on the season. That was a 3-win team a year ago. And Dillingham's been able to do it without a lot of high-priced players because their collective is behind. And they, people don't want to invest in a program that's struggling. And up until this year, they have been a struggling program. And that's obviously at a Big 12 level, and they were in the Pac-12. And listening to the way Coach Dillingham talks about Arizona State in a lot of ways, sounds like Jeff Traylor talking about things here at the UTSA level. So it's not just smaller programs and smaller conferences or power or group of or whatever they call them now, because that's a Big 12 coach saying we've got to come up with more. But I'm with you. What do these guys deserve? But if you're Dillingham, you're saying, okay, we're at the bottom part of the pay scale in the Big 12. We're winning games, but are we going to be able to keep doing that when we know these other schools and bigger schools are going to come in here and just money whip our guys and take them to Alabama or take them to Texas or take them to Texas A&M because they don't have the money to compete? And that's kind of where UTSA is. They've done well holding on to a lot of guys, but every time I watch a Longhorn game and I see Trey Moore making play after play after play, all you could think of is, man, UTSA did a great job of developing that kid.
Yes.
Is UTSA going to be a development program for these bigger programs that can just come in and buy them later?
Well, that's what the administration at UTSA has to decide. Are you a minor league team or do you want to play with the big boys? And so that's what they're going to have to decide. And Lisa Campos and President Amy have got to make that call, and they need to make the right call if they want this football team, this football program, and the rest of the athletics for that matter, to succeed. It's the way of the world. I'm not sure anybody but the players like it, but it is the way that it is. And so, but it still has to be regulated because I can't see, you're recruiting and say, well, Mississippi's offering me $1 million and Alabama's offering me $2 million, and UTSA, you can only pony up, $50,000. And it just, you got to be on some sort of a level there, but it's got to be consistent. And that's what I have a problem with. It's just willy-nilly guys run into the transfer portal because the offer is a little bit bigger over here. And again, it's hard to blame those players for that. But for schools, it's got to be a little more regulated. And they're taking some steps, but it needs to go a little faster.
And does the revenue share eliminate the NIL aspect of things? Or is it a combination of NIL money and revenue share? Or if NIL goes away, but that NIL money can be donated to the university because they do all kinds of, fundraising for all the different projects they have, and then that can go into the revenue share pool. But I think a lot of that's going to depend on, one, does NIL go away? Is that part of the guardrails and the rules that come into place? But what's the percentage of share that each university is going to do? And I think that becomes the touchy part, because universities can be cheap and say, we love our program, but we're not going to get involved in overpaying or paying this much money, because every business, they love revenue, right?
Sure.
And they don't necessarily want to share it. Other programs, what's the max we could do? Done. It's not even really a conversation or a meeting about it. At UTSA, I imagine there's got to be meeting after meeting after meeting, and I don't know if it falls on Lisa Campos mainly and her decision, or Dr. Amy and his decision. Does she present it to him? Does he say, this is what we're going to do? I don't know how that works, but they talk a lot. They got to put their money where their mouth is.
They absolutely have to. And again, no disrespect to any of the other sports. You need to get yours too, as you can. But the football program, I'm sorry, it just matters more in most circumstances. It does. It's all the moneymaker. It's everything. That's where your focus needs to be, and that's what people are watching on Saturday afternoon. Basketball is basketball, and that's second place as far as I'm concerned. But the football program's got to be taken care of.
Yeah, well, then again, there's some places where basketball might be first.
That may be.
Not in Texas.
No.
Not at UTSA. It's
absolutely
football.
Right.
And again, I think part of it too, you want to make sure Jeff Traylor stays here for a long time. Got to give him all the tools and resources to be able to compete. Because this guy is gone now. He's coaching in the American, and we keep saying, when are they going into the Big 12 or what power conference?
Well,
I don't want to go to the Big 12 and be a 2-win team.
President Amy and Lisa Campos will tell us a lot about their future plans by how they handle the revenue sharing. That will tell us all we need to know, because if they're cheap on that, you forget about anything else. You're not going to be able to compete in the Big 12 or the Pac-12 or the
Joe American.
Reinagel 12, whatever.
Or the American. I mean, you look at Texas State and their commitment to G.J. Kinney. Boy, that contract that G.J. just signed over the weekend tells me that Texas State is about to make a major jump.
Yep.
And it looks like they're ready to maybe leapfrog UTSA with whatever decision they make in July when it comes to this revenue share. Could say, all right, stay in your lane, Texas State.
Yeah.
But it's it's interesting.
Wow.
And it will say a lot about lip service or not.
Yeah,
when
that's
when it comes to Campos and Amy, because they're the ones, I believe, that are deciding this. And that will be in July. April is, I guess, the next big hurdle, and then schools have to decide by July, the way I understand it. We'll see.
Here we go.
Here we go. Here we go.
Here we go.
How about them Cowboys getting a win? And then you get people saying, well, what'd you do that for?
Exactly. They just hook you.
Oh, Joe Reinagel can't make up his mind. We'll explain coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star.
You're listening to The Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
1, 2, 3, Cowboys!
South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Thursday at 3:30. It's the Cowboys' 58th straight Thanksgiving Day matchup as the boys welcome the New York Giants to Jerry World.
I like this kind of party!
Pre-game starts at 2:30. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
In Texas, your spouse can claim alimony after just 10 years of marriage. Do you know your countdown? Because I guarantee you, she does. I'm Gary Barton with Barton & Associates. If you're considering divorce, then contact Barton & Associates today at texasdivorce.com. That's texasdivorce.com.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
It's football season, and now you can get anything you need for game day delivered with Uber Eats. Well, almost anything. You can't get a running back, but baby back ribs? Yes. Uber Eats, official on-demand food delivery partner of the NFL.
This holiday season, Straight Talk Wireless is letting you say yes a lot more with real unlimited data. Yes to sharing pics of the ugliest holiday sweaters. Yes to checking weather on the go for surprise sledding trips. And with a free phone at sign up, let the yes-tivities begin.
No way!
Yes way. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart or straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 1/5/25 while supplies last at participating stores. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation on select single-line plans. Limit of 2 phones per customer. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Okay, I have to tell you. I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
At the Home Depot, the holidays have arrived.
And so is all my family. So I'm working on keeping up with the laundry.
The Home Depot is here to help with Black Friday savings up to 40% off select appliances. Spend less time doing laundry with smart, efficient appliances from Samsung. Ranked #1 in customer satisfaction.
Perfect. Less laundry time means more family time.
Get Black Friday savings now with free delivery and financing on select appliances at the Home Depot. Visit jdpower.com/awards for more details. Offer valid November 6th through December 4th. U.S. only. See store or online for details.
This is the famous footwear that everyone has on their holiday wish list. So don't wait to make it famous. Whether you're searching for their favorite character shoes or the hottest sneakers, slippers, and boots, Famous Footwear has the newest styles from Nike, Adidas, Crocs, Converse, New Balance, Birkenstock, Timberland, and more. Unwrap Famous today and make everyone's holidays merry with buy one, get one half off at your local Famous Footwear or famous.com. Some exclusions apply.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
So this new dose is... nope, that's not it. The price is nowhere to be found.
Mr. Green? Hi, it's all good. We've got this.
This is not just help from a Walgreens pharmacist.
Oh, new prescriptions. Cool. Let me check to see if these are the lowest cost options covered by your Medicare plan.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
This is someone supporting you every step of the way. Chat with a pharmacist today to find help saving. This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
This Thanksgiving at Total Wine & More, find bourbons and Cabernets that you adore.
With curbside pickup and delivery available and the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Honor for Spurs forward Harrison Barnes. He's been named as the Western Conference Player of the Week. First Spur to receive that honor since DeMar DeRozan way back in 2020. Spurs beat the Warriors over the weekend. They are now 9-8 on the season. They return to the court tomorrow in Utah against the Jazz. College football, UTSA is now bowl eligible after crushing Temple on Friday night. They face 25th ranked Army this weekend.
Joe Reinagel.
And for the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, along with Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix on this Monday afternoon.
Happy Monday, everybody. Hope it's going well for you today.
It's a Monday with a short week for most.
Yes. Although we got a haircut today, and the dude said, yeah, I got to work Friday.
Really?
He said, yeah, it's going to be a busy day. He said all week was busy. So I guess everybody's getting haircuts this week.
Well, end of the month.
Well, end of the month. Yeah, a lot of people have family coming in and people maybe you haven't seen in a while. And I'm going to shock the hell out of my daughter that's coming in from Colorado with this, whatever you call this thing on my face.
Your goatee?
Yeah, whatever you call it.
Which you failed to dye over the weekend.
No, I didn't. And I was in Tri-County today, by the way. I didn't see the Godfather in there.
Oh, really? Joe wasn't in there?
He was not. I talked to Brian. Brian helped me pick out a really nice brisket.
Oh, yeah,
that I'm going to be cooking up overnight Wednesday.
Nice.
Yes.
Cannot wait.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I was in there yesterday.
Yeah?
Got a nice ribeye for dinner last night.
Nice. Very cool.
Spending the weekend at deer camp. Had to come home and cook Joanna a steak.
Why not?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a manly man.
Yes. Hunting camp is always so much fun. Man camp. My wife calls it.
Yeah.
You were at man camp.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, it looked like y'all had a good time.
Yeah, it was a good time. Got me an Axis. I'll share some meat with you when it comes in.
Well, yeah, because I don't think I've ever tried Axis. I'm not a big deer fan, I'll be honest with you.
From what I understand, because I don't know that I've actually ever tried Axis before. I've certainly never shot an Axis.
Right.
But I'm told of all the deer, it's the best meat, not very gamey, or not gamey at all.
Yeah.
But that's why they're harder to find. So it was fun.
Good. That's awesome.
Good time. Rob survived the weekend, just if everybody was worried.
Well, that's good. He took an extra day off. How come you didn't do that?
I can only man camp for so long.
All right.
I mean, to be 100% honest, you go up there's 35 dudes, and you're in a bunkhouse, and I know this is Rob's line, totally Rob's line, but the CPAP machine's the best thing that's ever happened to deer camp. Because you go into his big room and there's nothing but bunk beds, right?
Oh, yeah?
So you get a bunch of old guys snoring.
Oh, my
It's
gosh.
brutal, right?
Yeah,
But the CPAP is kind of taking that away, so you're just dealing with all the farting. And
Yeah, exactly. I would think the snoring's the least of your worries.
Well, it's snoring and farting. Now you just have the farting that you got to deal with.
Well, you got to deal with the stink.
Well, I mean, I can't wait to get you up there one day. I cannot wait.
That'd be great. Yeah, sure.
But I was up there Friday. Rob took an extra day, and I'd rather sleep in my own bed.
So you left him up there. Is that what happened?
Yeah, but he made his way home.
Yeah?
Yeah, he had a good trip, too. He was successful.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm happy to hear that.
But
happy to hear that.
Rob and I spent Friday night in a blind, and then Saturday morning at 6 a.m. in a blind. Didn't pull the trigger. Not that I'm against it, but like with the Axis, you track it in a Jeep and go that route.
Yeah.
To me, that's a little bit more sport. It's fun.
Well, yeah, you sit up there and in a blind, and they just come eat, and you pop them while they're enjoying dinner.
Well, yeah.
I'd rather track them too. I think that'd be fun.
It's a lot of because it's an exotic ranch.
Yeah.
You're sitting in there and going, "What the hell is that? Look what just walked by. What is that?" And you're trying to figure out.
Yeah.
What I mean, because oh yeah, that's India. That's South African. That's
very cool.
European. That's
cool.
Yeah. No, it's like I said, it's just like being in a safari. You don't even have to pull the trigger. Just watch. It's fun. Good stuff.
Very cool.
Yep. A lot of people wanting to talk college football still.
Oh, yeah?
In the NIL, including Jeremy, who's dialed 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. What's up, Jeremy?
Hey, man, I just wanted to say I've been in San Marcos for 20 years, and Texas State is in San Marcos for people who maybe don't know.
Now, are you still in school there? I mean, you sound
Oh,
like
no,
you're on
no,
the Leineagle
no.
plan. I'm a 20-year senior.
Stay as long as you can.
I've been going here for 20 years, man. One of these decades, I'll graduate.
No, man, this is a nice community here in San Marcos.
It
Texas,
is
really.
It's a great town.
Yeah, but I am an alum. But the reason I was calling is I have questioned the investment in football over the years, because there's been a lot of losing here.
Right.
But I saw firsthand on Saturday the economic boost it gives, man. Me and my family went to eat before the game, and people were out, and the restaurants were full, and it was good evidence to me that it's more than that. Investment pays off. And anyway, it was good evidence that maybe I need to change my thinking on things. And it has been nice to see a winner, but people come out and see a winner, And so anyway, for people that are skeptical about the sports investment, there's a lot more to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and you're right about that. And appreciate you listening up in San Marcos, because you think about that program and Texas State when it was Southwest Texas State. I mean, Jim Wacker and everything that he did was incredible, and the Bob DeBest years were kind of boring, and David Bailiff had some good teams, Brad Wright had some good teams, Manny Matsakis was a disaster. But one of the things with Southwest Texas State and when they turned to Texas State is they focused all their attention to Austin. They would rather get 20 seconds on Austin television than try to do anything with San Antonio media. In all the years I worked at the New Braunfels radio station, it was the same way. Because they got Austin TV, that's where they focused everything, and they ignored South Texas. That's why when UTSA started a program and hired Larry Coker, and that year they never played it down, UTSA was more relevant on a national level than Texas State. And the growth has been there. Leadership has so much to do with that. Don Coryell taking over as athletic director, and that current president hiring G.J. Kinney, the financial commitment they made to G.J. over the weekend, and what they have done with their NIL funds has really changed everything about that Texas State program. And quite frankly, it's about damn time.
Well, it is. And again, it's the commitment from the athletic director and the school president. They have to be all in. Otherwise, it doesn't work. And if you're not all in those positions, then you're never going to be anything. And look, it almost as good a job as Jeff Traylor does. And again, I agree with you. I think you were the one that said this. This may be his best coaching job ever since he's been here. He's made chicken salad.
Yes.
I mean, he really has,
he
right?
Really has.
So he's done that. So, I mean, it's almost a detriment because you're gonna look at what we got Jeff Traylor and look what he can do, but he needs some help, and he says that all the time. I agree with him. He needs a little bit of help. What they've done in San Marcos, and I know UTSA can't do this because they play in the Alamo Dome, which is a good thing, but they've got the title sponsor there now for the stadium, and you go out and you find clever ways to raise money and revenue. And that's what they're doing up there. And the commitment they made to G.J. Kinney is fantastic.
For that level, it's pretty impressive. And the idea of being a great recruiter and building relationships still matters. But when you've got players that are like, well, I mean, do we even have a conversation because I got this amount offered to me from this place? And, for a lot of people, I mean, it's like we can't even start a conversation unless you're at this number. And so that takes out the traditional recruitment process because now it starts with a dollar figure before we can even talk.
Yeah. Which, again, I'm all just open it up, man. Just open it up. You got a salary cap, you get agents, you got this, and here it is, and let's go. But this, when you don't know, I need $1 million. Well, why? Maybe you were a great high school player. That's fantastic. But you know what? It's a different ball game now. But somebody's going to pay that to somebody It's like that kid going to
Michigan.
Yeah.
$12 million is the reported number.
I mean, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable amount of money.
Which is why there's got to be guardrails.
There has to be.
There will be too many that just don't work out.
And you know what? Somebody, after a year or two, if this kid turns out to be all that, what everybody thinks he's going to be, we'll offer him more than that to get him to get in that portal and go somewhere else.
And imagine, then he goes to the NFL for a pay cut.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, there's still more work to be done. The revenue sharing and allowing schools to pay, I think, is a good thing. But there's a lot more work to be done.
Well, and like Gilbert says, when schools start paying with this revenue share, will NIL still be a thing? I don't really know the answer to that. I don't know if they know the answer to that.
Well, we talked to April about that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, she's not sure.
She's not sure.
You know, they've done a good job at UTSA with the 3 different collectives they have of creating a football-only one, which is the 210inspired.org one that April Ancira and Martin Salinas are that put together. And by July, that might be a thing of the past. But there does need to be, this is the amount of money that you're allowed to spend on your roster. If you want to use it all on a quarterback, good for you. If you want to spread the wealth around a little bit, you'll be able to do that. The idea of you go up to Austin right now and you see the number of Lambos and Ferraris. 17, you're giving me a Lambo? Yep. Where do I sign?
Well, that's still a thing at Texas, right? Every offensive lineman gets $50,000.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just where it is.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. If you know, automatically it's $50,000 if you're an offensive lineman. I mean, there's got to be something, right? Not just I want this and I want that, and they're offering this and that, and it's got to be in the NFL model is the perfect model. It really is.
Salary cap.
Yes. And you know, wide receivers typically make X. Quarterbacks make this. Offensive linemen make that. I mean, you kind of know the range.
Every position group has a value.
Yes.
Again, it's a whole new world, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yep.
But has college football, I mean, it's been pretty damn exciting.
That's the one thing. You know, you can bitch about it all you want, but when you're watching the games, you're not thinking about, well, that guy's making this and that guy's making that. In fact, at Deer Camp this week, one of the guys that is up there is an SMU graduate and a successful businessman who does not believe in the NIL and no longer donates to the SMU football program. He just donates to SMU in academic areas because he's not a believer of the NIL world. But at the same time, he sure is having a whole lot of fun watching his SMU Mustangs.
Absolutely, yes. And that's the thing. It's made everything competitive because you got good play. I mean, look at Vanderbilt.
Exactly.
Indiana.
Alabama now with 3 losses because they can't just stash a 5-star as a third stringer behind a 5-star second stringer behind the 5-star starter.
Yep.
And I think overall college football's the chaos is incredible.
That is.
Whatever the committee decides to do tomorrow night will add more to the conversation because you get this chaos along with the 12-team playoff now. I'm all for it.
Yep.
All for it.
It's been exciting.
Let's talk about the Cowboys' exciting wild win yesterday. They beat Washington. Good, bad, indifferent. Hell, anytime you beat Washington, it's a good thing. Although, got to admit, cost me a little bit of money playing the Pick'em game at Underdog Fantasy because I didn't have a lot of faith in the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, who would think that Cooper Rush would go higher than the predicted stats? Or, quite frankly, Mike McCarthy, that Rico Dowdle would not get enough yards because I thought they were going to be committed to the run, although they were, but not enough. Brandon Aubrey missed too. But you want to play, you got a good Monday night game tonight with a lot of guys going from Justin Herbert to Derrick Henry. You want to win money while watching. Make sure you're playing the Pick'em game at Underdog Fantasy. Do like me and over 5 million other players. Try to win some money while watching sports. And at Underdog, they've got different specials, promos, and bonuses running almost every single day like Profit Boost. Pump up your winnings in just a tap when you apply the boost to eligible entries. Discounts where you get adjusted projections on certain player stats to give you a better shot at the W. And free picks, basically a sure thing. A player just has to get higher than 0.5 for that pick to win. All new users get a free pick. So download the Underdog Fantasy app. Use my promo code STAR when you sign up and deposit to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Again, promo code STAR at Underdog Fantasy. Must be over 18, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, get signed up. Use promo code STAR at UnderdogFantasy.com.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to USASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an audience national contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com.
Listen to this message I received.
First message.
This is Santa Claus. Hey, I'm calling to give you a heads up. Last Christmas, so many people asked me for a Kinetico water softener, but getting all those Kinetico units in and out of the sleigh, up and down the chimneys, well, it's not so good on my back. So I'm going to forward all those Kinetico wish lists directly to you. Here's Mrs. Claus.
Thanks again for installing our Kinetico. I just love how soft my man's beard is, and my skin feels silky smooth, even here at the North Pole.
So if it's okay with you, I'll handle the toys, you handle the water softeners.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. 0% interest for 12 months and $400 when you trade in your old water softener.
By the way, the elves just love your jingle.
Call 656 Pure Kinetico.
I'm not a fan of the gluten-free cookies. Bye-bye.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656 Pure Kinetico.
Lowe's knows that to win the job, pros need the best prices. That's why only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500 at the Pro Desk. That means you get the prices you need to start any job, small or large. Because Lowe's knows pros. Valid in-store only. More terms and restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms or Pro Desk for details.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
We're getting crushed out here. What's going on with you, Nick? You used to be the unstoppable king of flag football.
I'm feeling my age. At 40, I feel like I can't keep up anymore.
Is it lower testosterone?
Lower T?
Yeah. When you turn 40, you have less testosterone. It's harder to stay lean and get the same results you used to get. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I know Nugenix. It really gives you an edge.
No question. At work, the gym, the bedroom, Nugenix turned back the clocks. Now I've got the same energy that I did in my 20s.
I want to try Nugenix.
All right, time out. Guys, go text Nugenix and get yourselves a complimentary bottle to try.
Text TIGER to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever. Absolutely free. Text TIGER to 42424. That's TIGER to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
You know the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch any big game with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. Football, basketball, all the fights. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch the game. Just down from the big blind, the Roo Pub, right next to the Angry Elephant. 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a walk-up with central air and a skylight, and you found it. Now, every Friday night, you get to fall asleep to the sound of your downstairs neighbors' dance parties. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. If you did some grilling this weekend, make sure you upload those photos to the Grilling with the Blitz page at sasportstar.com. We'll judge some meat later this week. Give away a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market.
It's always fun. Judging meat and giving away somebody else's money.
And this week, when you do your turkey, if you do your turkey outside, I can't wait to see those photos.
Yeah.
Whether you do them on a smoker, you fry them. If you cook it in the oven inside, that doesn't count.
No.
I don't care about your oven turkey. And, you know, got to be done outside for your chance to win the $50.
I'll send you pictures of my brisket.
See, that would work.
Well, I can't win, but
you can't win. But
I could put it up there for everybody to try and reach that level at some point in time.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm looking for. I haven't cooked a brisket in a while. Looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm. All night Wednesday.
Put it on Wednesday night. It's a biggin too.
A biggin.
It's a biggin.
A biggin.
Yeah.
Did you have them season it up for you?
No, I didn't.
All right,
I said I'll take it and I'm gonna do it all myself.
All right.
Trim it up and.
They trimmed it for you.
No,
you're going to try to trim it yourself.
Well, sure.
Well, don't screw it up.
Well, how could I screw it up?
Well, it's easy. You can over trim.
I'm not going to over trim. I like a little fat. It's just the hard fat you got to get out of there.
Well, true, but again, you could over trim that thing.
I'll be fine.
Okay.
Sure. And if not, maybe I'll take it back. Hey, Brian, will you trim this thing?
Did you get yourself an akaushi?
I did.
Good.
Yes.
That's good.
Sure did. Yes.
Don't screw it up.
I won't screw it up. I think I've made, since I got the Traeger, a couple years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. 4 briskets. They've all been pretty damn good.
Didn't you set the Traeger on fire one time with the brisket?
I did.
Yeah, don't do that again.
I did. But I saved I actually had 2 briskets on it one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
So
try not to have to call the fire department this weekend, especially for those of you frying turkeys.
It was that damn butcher paper.
Yeah.
That's what
it was, yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, it's not the butcher paper.
It was the butcher paper.
Well, something else caused the fire.
Uh-huh.
Butcher paper.
Grease.
Yeah, the grease.
Yes.
Because you did it wrong.
I didn't wrap it very well, I guess. It was the wrapper.
So you have a hard time wrapping, huh?
Sometimes. But, I'm better. That happened once.
Mm-hmm. Hey, y'all, look, it's part of it.
Yes.
It's what you got to do.
What I love about the Traeger, that you just unplug it and everything's fine.
To a degree, yep.
So
save the meat, though.
That's it. I did that, yes.
The most important thing.
And it was
it's
delicious.
too expensive to let it just sit there and burn.
No, you can't do that. Yeah.
No, can't do that. So, a couple years ago, you just started working here at the radio station, retiring from television, and the Spurs sucked.
Right.
And there was this kid over in France that everybody wanted, and the Spurs were clearly tanking for him.
Yes.
And if I remember correctly, you were very, very, very adamantly against tanking.
Yes.
Get off my lawn.
Yes. Yes and yes.
You're not a fan of tanking?
No.
Okay. So today, I open up my Instagram, and I see at SA Sports Star on Instagram a video of you, Joe Reinagel, bitching that the Cowboys won, and that's going to cost them in the draft. They should have lost that game, which is tanking.
Well, to a degree, but it's
to a degree.
It's different.
How?
Okay, well, let's think back to that Frenchman that the Spurs coveted. They started off the season tanking.
Okay.
From day one. Now, some would say maybe the Cowboys did too. I don't know.
Yeah, this year's not about winning. Ask Jerry Jones.
Yeah, well, anyway, look, once you know you're out of it, you have no chance. Now, the Cowboys are not mathematically out of it. They still have an opportunity. But I'm just saying, they're not going anywhere. Even if the Cowboys made the playoffs, it's going to be another one and done, right? Which is fine, but I'm just saying it costs them in that respect. And I just think at this point in time, since they already screwed up and gave that quarterback all the money they gave that dude, they can't do anything about that.
I love you, Dak.
So, I mean, they have to draft well. And they haven't really done that lately.
So I'm trying to figure out where you stand on tanking. Because, look, I've got a good friend of mine, lives in New Jersey. His name is Brian Carson, and he's annoying as hell. I almost wish he would lose my number every Sunday because every time the Cowboys do something dumb, he texts me, and he's Mr. Negative, right, on everything.
Okay.
And started yesterday when Aubrey missed. Like, and now the kicker has joined the suckage, right? And then when the game is over, they won, and now he's mad because it's messing with the draft. So you're bitching during the game that they're playing like crap because you want to see your team win, and now they've won, and now you're mad because they won, so that could affect their draft pick. Make up your damn mind.
No. It's completely different.
How?
It's different. You don't start the season tanking.
Okay.
You don't. You start the season with a plan to win. But when you're 3-7 and you've looked like crap getting to that point, then it's time. And look, I'm not convinced the Cowboys weren't trying to blow that game.
Oh, they tried.
They tried.
They tried.
They got lucky as hell that nobody told Turpin that they were supposed to lose. Nobody told the Washington kicker that the Cowboys didn't want to win.
No, it was, look, man, we're trying to lose. No, we're trying to lose. No, hold my beer. I'll miss this extra point. What are we doing here? I mean, it was just insane, the final couple of minutes of that game. But my question is, Cowboy fans, if you're a Cowboy fan, are you happy but mad? Because I get it. You're happy. Your team won. And my goodness, you beat Washington. Go back to 1989. One win on the year, you beat those guys. That's a good year. That's a good day. Always beat those guys. Now, Thursday is the dilemma because you get the New York Giants.
Well, and they're full out tank mode.
Yeah. I mean, they're doing it out in front of you. They're not even trying to pretend. Yeah. I mean, the front office quit on that football team when they got rid of Daniel Jones with 7 weeks to go. So you look at this, the idea now, if you're truly trying to tank, what do you do with the Giants? Because they're trying to tank too. Or do you finally get a home win? Because as dumb as it sounds, and they're not a playoff team by any stretch, but you go back to what we talked about in the offseason, what we talked about at the beginning of this year, you look at this Dallas Cowboys schedule. And while they're now 4-7 on the year, we talked all offseason they could be a 500 team at the bye, 3-3, and they were coming out of the bye. If they split those games, which they didn't, they lost all 4 of them. But if they had split those games,
I think they lost 5 in a row.
After the bye, they've only lost 4. After the bye, they've lost 4.
I stand corrected.
Yes. But they did lose 5 in a row, but one of those was before the bye.
Okay, gotcha.
So going back to when we were trying to map out the season, how many wins could this team actually get? Now you get this stretch with Washington. Nobody expected them to be good, and I'm still not sure if they are. The Giants, Bengals, I think most of us put as a loss. Then you get Carolina, Tampa Bay, Philadelphia, and Washington. You look at the Dallas Cowboys, they could win 3 of their next 4. And then what do you do? Now you're looking at about a 500 team.
You are. And draft stock, your draft position just goes the wrong way.
So as a Cowboy fan, like on your video, you say they've hooked you in because, probably Ray was at the gym this morning talking about this team could actually make the playoffs, which shouldn't happen.
No, Ray
is
not that dumb.
Okay, good. Because most of the time when you talk about Ray, I assume he is.
No, Ray is a very good debater.
Yeah.
Yes. He's never wrong. Some of us can boast that. Some can't. But look, it wasn't Ray. But I heard two people tell me, well, they got the Giants, they got Cincinnati, they've got Carolina coming up. They could be 7-7 after that stretch.
They could be.
They very well could be.
Very well.
Well, look, the Giants
suck.
Cincinnati, I don't think they beat Cincinnati because I think Cincinnati might score 80 points on that secondary.
I look at the way that defense played yesterday. That defense yesterday played good football.
Until they didn't.
Correct. But they did play. That Butler kid looks like he could be a legit corner.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't even try to throw it Bland. They picked on Butler all day.
Yeah.
And he played well. They did a good job against the run. The Cowboys defense did some good things yesterday. You got to be I call it how you saw it. Washington coming in expected to just roll Dallas, and they didn't.
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels did not look like Jaden Daniels until 5 minutes ago in the fourth quarter, and that whole fourth quarter looked like an Arena Football League game. Like you score, here we go, missed extra. You had everything. It was insane. But up until that point, with about 5 minutes to go, you have to give the Cowboys defense a lot of credit for what they were doing.
Look, they did. They held the what do you call them these days? Commanders?
Washington.
Yeah, those guys. What was that game? 3-3 at halftime?
It was.
I mean, it was something ridiculous like that. So both defenses were playing well, I guess you could say. The Cowboys played much better defensively until that fourth quarter, and nobody played well. The problem that you saw, especially with that comeback for Washington, was the secondary wasn't good.
No.
It wasn't. And especially when you let their best wide receiver get wide open and just run right through you, that's a problem. So, look, I don't know. I think that Cincinnati game's going to be a problem. It could potentially be a problem, although with Cincinnati's defense, they might actually make Dallas's offense look good.
I mean, let's not get carried away.
I'm just saying.
Although Brandon Cooks might be back for that.
He might be.
Jalen Brooks made some plays. Schoonmaker made some plays.
He did. I was shocked.
I mean, although that one, he was so wide open. What happened to Dan Quinn's defense?
Yeah,
how did
right?
Schoonmaker get that wide open?
Well, he's easily forgotten.
Well, I mean, but you just look at all of that. That game yesterday was bizarre, and I get it. I'm always happy when Washington loses. Don't get me wrong. But I get the draft part because now, I mean, are you playing to win or are you playing for the draft pick? Mike McCarthy's not going to coach this team next year. He's playing to win.
Absolutely.
And he said last week this team deserved to win. Okay, they got it. But what do you do this week against the Giants? You know, you get Washington again at the end of the year. You know, beat the Giants, beat Carolina, and lose the rest. You're still going to have a decent draft pick. And if there's somebody you want, a lot easier to move up 4 or 5 spots than if you're in the 20s trying to drop into, 12 or 9 or 8 or wherever that might be.
It would be the Cowboys thing to get on a win streak right now, get everybody's hopes up, and then watch them collapse in the first round of the playoffs. Because that's kind of a tradition these days. So I kind of hope that happens.
Really?
Sure. That's a Cowboy tradition.
What?
Get everybody's hopes up and just crush them.
Nobody's hopes are going to be up this year.
When they win 3 or 4 in a row, you'll be singing their praises.
No. Well, maybe. I mean, but do I think this team is not going to go win a Super Bowl?
No.
I mean, they're not going to go win a Super Bowl.
They're not.
Cooper Rush is not Nick Foles. That's not going to happen.
No. Are we going to start giving Philly a little respect?
No.
No?
No.
I think we should.
Screw those guys.
I'm just saying.
Screw those guys.
Philly looks pretty good.
Oh, they do. But, my side chick team now, Detroit, they'll have something to say about that.
You change side chicks a lot.
Well, they're side chicks.
I thought it was the Texans.
Well, that become now.
You jumping off their bandwagon now?
Good Lord, did you watch them play yesterday?
Oh, my gosh.
Let's talk about that and go around the rest of the NFL.
And they beat the hell out of the Cowboys the week before.
Yeah, and then C.J. Stroud, the great C.J. Stroud, runs out of the back of the end zone with the game on the line. What the? Yeah. You know, nobody plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast because, well, of course you do. You know, the best way to do that is to call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text BAIL to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. If you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
The Morning Huddle.
I'm fully aware that I'm a bad singer and I'm singing ironically.
Well, make sure the audience is in on the joke.
And he was like, you sing just good enough that like maybe you think you're really good. I'm like, no, I think I'm a horrible singer. I just don't care. I'm having fun. It's like singing in your car. You don't have to be a good singer.
You do in my car.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
What is GMTVCC? It's a mouthful, but translation for GMTVCC.com is Give Me the VIN Classic and Collector Cars. It's a brand new buying division of Give Me the VIN, but it's for classic and collector cars. Experienced pro buyers will appraise an offer on your 1970 Hemi Cuda or 1988 Fox Body Mustang or your granddad's old 1985 square body Chevy truck. GMTVCC.com is where you go to get real money for classic and collector cars to get paid now. That's GMTVCC.com, brought to you by Give Me the VIN.
If it's the holidays, then it's bonus card season at Twin Peaks. Stuff your friends and family stockings the right way with the ultimate gift card and get a little something for yourself. Here's how it works. Stop by any area Twin Peaks, purchase a gift card, and receive a free bonus card that's just for you. Receive a $10 bonus card with $50 gift card purchase or a $20 gift card with a $100 gift card. You see what I'm talking about? That's Twin Peaks. The holiday season is here. Visit Twin Peaks for all of your holiday shopping, the eats, the drinks, and those scenic views.
It's Black Friday build-up at Lowe's. Get a head start on Black Friday all month long with exclusive deals. Right now, get 25% off select pre-lit artificial Christmas trees just in time for the holidays. And get a free select tool when you buy a select battery or combo kit. So don't wait to save. Shop these deals in-store or online now because Lowe's knows deals. Valid 11/21 through 11/27 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Jake from State Farm. I'm winning. I finally cleaned my house, so I'm breaking out my new tropical room spray.
Keep winning and create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. It's like your own personal paradise.
Ooh, hey, grab me a coconut water.
Bundling, just another way to save with a personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
The holidays are here at the Home Depot, so let's get to decorating. Find your perfect tree in our huge assortment of shapes, sizes, and styles. Like the easy-to-assemble Jackson Noble Fir, with pre-lit branches perfect for styling with all your favorite ornaments. Or the Flock Starry Light Fraser Fir, with over 1,900 pre-lit memory wire branches that keep their shape so it's ready right out of the box. Ooh. Find the perfect tree now at the Home Depot.
George gets justice. At George Salinas Injury Lawyers, they don't just represent you, they fight for you. When life throws its toughest challenges, George and his team are there to get you the justice you deserve. And here's their promise: you don't pay unless they win your case. With a proven track record of success, they take every case personally. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer? Can we sleep cooler? Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side, your Sleep Number setting. And now, during our Black Friday sale, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed, plus free home delivery when you add a base. And Cyber Monday. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday afternoon at 6:30. After a 13-year hiatus, the Aggies take on the Texas Longhorns. Presented by Ewald Kubota and the Angry Elephant. Pre-game at 5:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Yes, a 13-year hiatus.
Hiatus.
He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. The Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Boy, Aggies, Texas. The week is finally here. In fact, Wednesday, the Blitz will be live out at the Angry Elephant, 281 and Redland Road. Aggie fans, that's where you want to gather on Saturday. Watch that game. Longhorn fans, right next door at the Roo Pub. It's going to be an incredible scene on Saturday out at the Angry Elephant and Roo Pub.
So that's how it's going to go. The Texas faithful will be at the Roo Pub.
Correct.
Aggies will be at the Angry Elephant.
Correct.
All right.
Well, I mean, the Aggie headquarters is Angry Elephant. The Longhorn watching headquarters is Roo Pub. It's been that way all year. Although I imagine if you're an Aggie, you can sit at the Roo Pub. If you're Longhorn, you could sit at the Angry if you want. Although I just imagine that whole thing is just that area is going to be insane on Saturday.
It was going to be nuts, but I mean, we're going to have to, we're going to have to go bodyguard that place.
I mean, they're not calling you for those duties.
Well, they might.
No, they got a guy named Tiny.
Yeah, Tiny. Is that his physique or something else?
Wow.
I don't know.
Wow.
I'm just asking. I don't know.
You know how they see rather large humans and call them tiny?
Yes.
I don't know about the other.
No offense, Tiny.
Well, I think it was taken. The fact that you immediately went there.
Well, I mean, when somebody says tiny, that's...
That you think of parts?
Well, sure. That's not a good word around a dude. It's tiny. What are you talking about?
Are you having a flashback? I mean, he's a large human being that with one hand could move you from where you're sitting now to the other side of the door in one step.
Why, I'm sure he could. And
yes.
I'm sure I've met this guy before.
I'm sure you have.
Yeah?
He's a talkative bunch.
Well, sure. Yeah. Interesting. Tiny.
Yep.
What's his real name?
Tiny.
Tiny.
I don't know. I've always known him as Tiny.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Tiny.
So, Longhorn fans, Roo Pub. Aggie fans, Angry Elephant. Mix mingle. I know there's other bars. There's not going to be a place where they set up quite like what they have there at 281 and Redland Road.
That's going to be a blast. Yeah, to have everybody there like that. That's going to be fun.
So, side chick teams. I think everybody's fallen in love with Detroit, and why not?
Yep.
But let's talk Texans. Because last week, the week before that, a lot of Cowboy fans have said, I'm done. Jerry Jones, you've pushed me to my limit. I am done. Lifelong fandom, done. And all these people saying they were jumping on the Houston Texans bandwagon. And after Houston beat Dallas last week, all right, I don't believe any of you that say you are divorcing Dallas.
Yeah, they're not.
You might be separating and see other people, but you'll be back. Might put your shirt away for a while, but you'll be back. So your first week as an official Texans fan, Cowboys go out and beat Washington, and Houston loses to the Houston Oilers. And they lose because C.J. Stroud runs out of the back of the end zone for a safety.
Yes.
Well, again, game's on the line. All right, C.J., great quarterback. You got a chance to drive your team down in the field goal range, and let's keep playing football. And you end all of that by stepping out of the back of the end zone because you're not aware of where you are on a football field?
Yeah, and that has nothing to do with the sophomore slump. You got to know where you're at on the field. Look, it happens. You know, it has happened to other people.
It has. He pulled in Orlovsky.
He did. He'll learn from it, Jason.
Yeah. My friend and my financial advisor, Daryl Lyons, just sent a text.
Mm-hmm.
Come to the dark side. See, he's a Houston Texan fan.
Yeah.
What's more maddening, watching your quarterback run out of the back of the end zone, ending all hopes, or watching the Dallas Cowboys?
And, Daryl's a really smart guy.
Well, he's done wonders for me, so I can't say anything against him except for his choice in teams.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Come to the dark side. I can't stop being a Cowboy. It's just in the DNA. Will I root for other teams when my team is out of it? I'll pull for the Lions. I like the Texans. I want to see them do well. I'm just curious where this year they're a good team, not a great team, and C.J. Stroud not playing near the level that he was a year ago.
No.
So for everybody that's constantly bagging on a Dak Prescott, where's that same level of scrutiny when it comes to C.J. Stroud?
That's like a grown man. You're picking on a grown man, and then you want us to pick on a child.
Well, now C.J. Stroud is a child?
He's a child.
He's a child.
Yes.
A child.
He's just a baby.
Just a baby.
Come on.
He's in the National Football League, is he not?
He is in the National Football League, yes.
I mean, we're moving the goalposts again.
I'm not moving anything. I'm just saying he's struggling. He's not playing well.
Okay, but where's the criticism for that?
I just did. I criticized him. He shouldn't have run out of the end zone. That was dumb. That was extremely dumb.
Yes.
And he has played poorly. And again, he's been sacked almost second most in the National Football League.
Yeah, Caleb Williams says, hold my beer, here's some Tylenol.
Exactly right. The difference between those two, and I will say this, and I haven't watched a lot of Chicago Bears football, but I watched a lot of that game yesterday, and when it was time to get serious and bring your team back, Caleb Williams did that. Tied that game, went to overtime, and then, Minnesota won it with a field goal.
Weird day yesterday in the NFL. Mike McCarthy's press conference starting now. Let's go and join it live here on your South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Definitely different feeling today. But, I think the biggest thing is we're on a short week, and, just the guys did a great job of getting in here, getting done what they needed to get done in the morning, and, I had later meetings. This is kind of a Wednesday for us. Excuse me.
With where you guys are and big picture views, do you do any of that yet? Do you think, 2013, where you guys were, and then you made a run late, do you get to that point yet at all?
No.
Think of any of that?
No. It's a fast week. I do know that just from having the opportunity to compete on Thanksgiving. I mean, it's a great game, obviously the history of it, especially the history here in Dallas. But there's so much to do, and you have to do it in a timely fashion because, the recovery of the players is at the top of the list. I mean, that's just the way I've always approached this game. So just getting them on a routine to make sure that we get, the game plan in order. But the rest of recovery is at a premium this week.
Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. He didn't play a whole lot, but you talked about Linville Joseph, his messaging to the team. Can you share a little bit about what that meant to you?
Yeah, definitely. I thought Linville did a really nice job. We have weekly captains. He was the defensive weekly captain this weekend, and really all the captains have done a really, really nice job. They have an opportunity to speak in the final team meeting, and his message just really resonated. I think just like anything, he brings an unbelievable wealth of experience to our football team, and he's kind of like E.F. Hutton. All these guys don't know who the hell E.F. Hutton is, but for us, for our generation, we understand it. When he says something, people listen.
Yeah, pretty full injury report. Any concerns about Cooper being on there right now?
I'm sorry?
You have a pretty full injury report. Any concerns about Rush being on there today?
Just left Cooper earlier, but no, he's got some some work to do, but I think we're going to be fine.
Sorry, this is The Athletic. Mike, early 2000s, you were in New Orleans when John Carney missed that extra point.
Wow, that's a great memory. Why are we bringing that up now?
Well, for you yesterday when Cybert kind of missed it, for you being on the opposite end, just what are the emotions of that kind of play? You were on that end of it, and then you were on the other side of it yesterday.
Yeah, no, that was amazing. I can see the similarity now, but that was an amazing play. But that was the last play of the game. New Orleans at Jacksonville, the River City Relay, if you want to get it right in your article. But and it was 2-jet all-go special was the call, relay. So just you can put that in there too. But no, really cool play. Yes, but I think it just goes to show you this game. I mean, nothing's automatic. Like John Carney, incredible field goal kicker, and I think at that time, and I don't know if he still may be. Yeah, I mean, he was the highest percentage, rated kicker, I think, in NFL history at that time too. So, but yeah, definitely. That game yesterday in the fourth quarter was as wild as any game that I've ever been a part of. So, I'm sure it was a great game to watch.
With extra points like that, though, when it is just 1 point, and what are your feelings? Are you kind of moving on to the next emotion, or do you take it for granted? Or I know the distance was different too.
Yeah, definitely. I think as a head coach, it's your job. It's your job to be always the next play, the next situation ahead. I mean, it's no different than calling offense. Once the play is called, if you call 1st and 10 on the 35-yard line, maybe you're already on to second 1 to 7, second 8 plus. You're always anticipating the next call. So definitely. I mean, that's how I do it. I was glad it happened. So.
Nick Harris, former Star Telegram. I think there was a lot to say just about the fight around the team, not only in the final 5 minutes, but throughout. But where would you say that fight's kind of come to the surface over the course of the last few weeks with guys like Dak, DeMarcus Lawrence, Al? Who have been the guys that have kind of embodied that for you guys?
Did you say fight?
Fight, yes.
Yeah, fight? I think as a whole, they've just done a great job. It starts in the preparation phase, just really staying the course, because you're always looking for things. And you can overdo it too. You can look at things, with a sensitivity that, doesn't give clarity. But I don't feel like that exists in our operation. So, and hopefully it never does. But yeah, they've done a really nice job staying the course as far as preparing. But yeah, I mean, if you need a definition of urgency, we've had it around here, the last month, and I'm frankly just thankful and just really happy for the players, that they had the success that they've worked so hard to achieve. So, but yeah, the fight has definitely been there. I think when you see young players, particularly guys that don't get a lot of opportunities, I think Brock Huffman definitely brings that different type of energy that everybody on offense loves. You got to recognize Josh Butler, just the way he played. Came on Hall. I mean, he's a tough kid. These younger guys that are getting opportunities, but going in and playing with physicality and so forth. So I think that just shows to them and as individuals, the confidence that they have. But this group has really stayed the course.
In the run game.
Mike McCarthy's press conference as they get ready for a Giants team on Thursday. Quick turnaround, as you heard him say, it's Wednesday in his world. Dallas has won 7 straight against New York and 14 of the last 15 against the New York Giants. Going to be interesting.
Well, they should win.
They should.
They should.
Beat that Cutlets guy.
Danny DeVito?
Tommy. Yeah.
Tommy, Danny.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe they'll target Malik Neighbors. I don't know. We'll talk about it coming up. Plus, Jeff Traylor will join us at 5:15 as UTSA is now bowl eligible. This week, if you've got family coming into town, whether they're staying for a couple of days or just coming Thursday for dinner, your plumbing is going to get overused, more work than it normally does, whether it's the toilets, your sink as you're cooking everything. If you have any kind of issues with your plumbing, Quarter Moon will be available to you 24/7, even on holidays. And especially if you're calling them on Thanksgiving. That's worst case, right? Well, they are experts at worst case scenarios. Big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. No commission. Sales reps, they'll provide estimates and second opinions, and they have a great experienced staff that has earned an A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau, and they're green certified. Talk about plumbing. If your AC or your heater goes out, call Quartermoon. They'll get you taken care of. Keep the number handy, 210-651-5899, 651-5899, or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
Riding 410 with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com. 1, 2, 3, South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Thursday at 3:30. It's the Cowboys' 58th straight Thanksgiving Day matchup as the boys welcome the New York Giants to Jerry World.
I like this kind of party.
Pre-game starts at 2:30. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text STAPLE to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text STAPLE to 321-321. That's STAPLE to 321-321.
In Texas, your spouse can claim alimony after just 10 years of marriage. Do you know your countdown? I guarantee she does. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. If you're considering divorce, it's absolutely crucial to understand your options right now. Don't let alimony catch you off guard. Protect what you've built and secure your hard-earned assets. Visit TexasDivorce.com. At Barton & Associates, we focus on navigating the complexities of divorce law to ensure you're not left vulnerable. Divorce is tough, but you have a choice. Take control of the process or allow your spouse to dictate the terms. If you're serious about safeguarding what you have built and your financial future, Barton & Associates is the team for you. We'll act swiftly and decisively, ensuring that you're not taken advantage of. Call Barton & Associates at 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-MILLION. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
This holiday at T-Mobile, I'm joined by a special co-anchor.
What up, everybody? It's your boy, Big Snoop D-O-double-G.
Snoop, let's talk about T-Mobile.
Okay, cool.
This holiday, get 4 lines for $25 a line. Plus, 4 iPhone 16s with Apple Intelligence and the all-new camera control on us.
Let's get cracking, like a breakfast egg.
You can use those eggs to make some eggnog, Snoop.
Respect.
And people do love T-Mobile, where you can save on every plan versus the other big guys.
You know, y'all can take some of those savings and buy some Snoop merchandise.
Always a great stocking stuffer, Snoop.
We up out of here.
Hold your horses, Snoop D-O-double-G. Let's remind people one more time.
Head to T-Mobile.com and get 4 iPhone 16s with Apple Intelligence on us. Plus 4 lines for $25. Now drop that jank.
With 24 monthly bill credits, 4 eligible trade-ins, and 4 new lines with autopay. Well-qualified customers plus taxes and fees and $35 per line connection charge. Cancel entire account before receiving 24 bill credits and credit stop and balance on required finance agreements due. $829.99. Credits end if you pay off device early. See how you can save on wireless and streaming versus the other big guys at T-Mobile.com/switch. Apple Intelligence available now.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
At the Home Depot, the holidays have arrived.
And so is all my family. So I'm working on keeping up with the laundry.
The Home Depot is here to help with Black Friday savings up to 40% off select appliances. Spend less time doing laundry with smart, efficient appliances from Samsung, ranked #1 in customer satisfaction.
Perfect. Less laundry time means more family time.
Get Black Friday savings now with free delivery and financing on select appliances at the Home Depot. Visit jdpower.com/awards for more details. Offer valid November 6th through December 4th. U.S. only. See store or online for details.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Harrison Barnes has been balling for the Spurs, and today he was honored as the Western Conference Player of the Week. First Spur to receive that honor since DeMar DeRozan did it back in 2020. Spurs, well, they were successful over the weekend, beat Golden State on Saturday. They return to the court tomorrow in Utah, going up against the Jazz. Texas Longhorns remain third in the latest AP poll. The Aggies, though, they go from 15 to 20 after falling in Auburn.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 as San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Short week for most people. Thursday being Thanksgiving. A lot of football, a lot of food.
And Friday we have football too.
Football, probably more food, leftovers.
Yeah. Although, it's weird. We're not doing a turkey this year.
No?
No. And I don't know. So it's like all that, which I'm not the biggest turkey
what are you doing?
Fan anyway. I've got to figure that out because my mother isn't going to cook anything. My brother is. I mean, if it were up to him, he sent me a photo. If it was up to him, hang on, let me make sure I get this right.
Yeah.
It is a photo of banquet turkey meals that he took at HEB. I said, "You want me to do dinner?" So I've got to figure out what I can cook here and then transport to Copper's Cove. So hell, it might be fajitas and tamales. I don't know.
That's not bad.
No, I'd be fine with that. So on Friday, we're gonna do Cornish game hens at the house because it's just Joanna and I. Erica's not coming home.
Okay.
So we'll do Cornish game hens. Sounds so much better than baby chickens. Like if they called those baby chickens, you'd never buy them at HEB.
Well, do you stuff them?
Well, sure, we'll stuff them.
You will?
Yeah. Got to have stuffing.
Well, yeah, but you don't have to stick it up the bird's
butt. Where else are you going to put it?
Well, put it separately.
Well, no. I mean, you could do the stuffing through the neck if that makes you feel better.
No,
it would take longer.
I'd prefer not to stuff anything. I would prefer just a separate dish of stuffing.
There's way too many jokes there, Reinagel.
Well, I'm just saying because when it comes out of the oven, as good as it may be, it still looks like that bird is.
All right, fine. That's what it is.
Relieving himself.
Yeah, that's good, but it's good stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Use a wipe first.
You don't need one.
Where do I stick my meter?
Add gravy.
Whew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll do that probably on Friday.
Very good.
Or at some point.
Yeah, well, Thanksgiving's kind of like the Reinagel big family thing because then everybody scatters for Christmas, right? So we all get together in my brother's house, and my daughter and son-in-law and 2 granddaughters coming in from Colorado.
Nice.
Stay with us for a few days, and but we'll have a house full. So we get a couple of turkeys, and I do a brisket.
Perfect.
So everybody's got
Now, do you bring a lot of the turkey leftovers home, or just the brisket leftovers, if there is any?
There won't be many. I'll promise you that.
Yeah.
There won't be many. I also do a little green bean casserole too.
You realize the green bean casserole is assigned to the guy that has the least amount of talent in the kitchen.
Well, no, or it's the guy that does the best job at it.
Again, it's that job is assigned to the lowest common, like that or biscuits.
Well, that's good. I'll let Maggie know you said that.
Yeah, you can. You can.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've always made a green bean casserole. Everybody likes it.
Nobody likes green bean casserole.
Dude, it's always gone.
It's sure, because everybody puts it on their plate, they slide it around, and then it's there at the end.
Well, I'm making a brisket, for goodness
Well,
sake.
see, and that's fine. You don't need the green bean casserole.
Well, they want it.
Who wants it?
It was asked for.
Who?
My brother. He wanted it. He said, "Are you bringing the green bean casserole too?" I said, "I can."
Well, it's because he doesn't want to have to deal with it.
Well, but I'm just saying. It's by request, Minix.
By request?
By request.
From your brother Randy?
From my brother Randy, yes. So there you go. You know, do you like green bean casserole?
No.
No. You don't like it either? Dude, I love it.
Well,
it's delicious.
I mean, it's better than just a can of green beans, I suppose.
No, it's delicious.
Delicious is...
Put that mushroom soup in there with the little sprinkles of the French fried onions or whatever the hell you call those things.
Yes. And then you just put it in the oven and bake it.
Yes.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes. Easy.
It
can't
is
screw
easy.
it up.
It's easy.
And you're right. It's all right. Maybe good. I'm not a fan. But delicious?
It's delicious.
How often do you make it?
Thanksgiving.
Yes. If it were delicious, you could do a green bean casserole with a nice ribeye.
I could.
But you don't because it's not that delicious.
Well, it is. It's just it's a little more complicated to make than
opening up a can.
Well, yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
You got to open up 2 cans,
well,
the cream of mushroom soup and the green beans, and then get your onions.
I happen to like green beans quite a bit. So whether it's a casserole or whether I fry up some bacon and onions and with my green beans like that, it's it's good. You got to get creative.
You add bacon?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, bacon. Well, that's what I'm saying. I'll chop the bacon up little squares. And then you fry them in there in the pan first.
You fry your bacon.
So, well, yeah, you put the bacon in there and fry it up, and that way all the grease is still in there. Then you dump your green beans in.
Yeah.
With some sautéed onions.
Sautéed.
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect. Yeah, your mouth's watering now, Minix.
Not really.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I just, if it's so delicious, that'd be on the regular. Like, what do we have tonight?
Yeah.
That and green bean casserole.
Green bean casserole. Well, I mean, if I probably should make it more often than I do.
But you think about it once a year.
Well,
because the Pilgrim said you had to.
Well, because that's what the family wants, and I'm kind of the head of the family these days since I'm the oldest.
Oh yeah.
I'm the godfather of the Reinagel family.
Let's not get carried away.
I make you an offer you can't refuse.
Make you a casserole you can't refuse.
Exactly right, buddy.
I'd rather have like cheesy potatoes.
Well, there will be mashed potatoes and gravy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all that
and
stuff.
you get those all year long. Why? Because they're delicious.
They are delicious.
Yes.
No question.
Green bean casserole once a year when you have to.
Although, quite frankly, we don't make mashed potatoes that often. Now, we'll do baked potatoes more often than that.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Well, it depends on, with mashed potatoes, you have to be able to make good gravy. If you can't have good gravy, then you go baked potato.
Sure, but I'll be totally honest with you. Making gravy is overrated. The best gravy is in that jar.
No, jar gravy is not good.
Dude, it is fantastic. Jar gravy is good. You just got to get the right kind.
Well, send me your jar gravy, because when Joanna has tried jar gravy before, man, that whole meal is ruined, and we're ordering pizza.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
You're such a spoiled baby,
I am a gravy snob. I will tell you that. Jeff Traylor will come and join us next. We'll figure out what they're going to do for that football team on Thanksgiving and get his thoughts on green bean casserole and the NIL stuff. Coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Flight by Yuengling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted to walk up with central air and a skylight, and you found it. Now, every Friday night, you get to fall asleep to the sound of your downstairs neighbors' dance parties. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Transform your water with Connecticut. For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off with trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months. Don't wait. Offer ends soon.
Call 656-PURE, Connecticut.
At the Institute for Functional Health, we are dedicated to helping you live life fully, playing with your kids, golfing, and feeling great without relying on pills. We're not about treating symptoms temporarily. We're about extending your health span, the years you live in good health. I'm Dr. Torres, and for over a decade, my team has transformed lives by tackling health issues at the root. Tired of medications without real answers? Take control of your health with us. Call 210-468-1891 for a free Discovery Day consultation or visit iffhealth.com. Improve your health span today.
You know, if you're looking for a place to go watch tonight's Monday night game and start planning ahead, Thursday when you're tired of family, need a place to go, Friday, Saturday for the Texas-Texas A&M game, get into the Rue Pub there at 281 and Redland Road. No better place to go watch any big game than at the Rue with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. And when you go into the Rue Pub, go hungry. The food, fantastic, all made from scratch, the biggest and best wings in town, about 15 different burgers on that menu. I love the fried shrimp. They've got great appetizers, including great salads. In fact, Pledge was telling me a story. He went there on Saturday with some friends, and he was raving about the salad, and all these guys ordered salads. In fact, my friend Andy ordered 2 salads. Go ahead. Rue Pub does have happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night. The best place, apparently, to get a salad. More importantly, the best place to go watch a game. The Rue Pub, just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Rue.
Hello. My name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio, and since 1994, I've been representing people and families seriously injured by negligent drivers. Recently, we've all seen advertisements from attorneys here in San Antonio saying their firm does not get paid an attorney fee unless there's a recovery. And maybe you've heard, we don't get paid unless you get paid, or words to that effect. Well, that is what I've been doing for more than 30 years. I honestly did not know that there were attorneys in San Antonio that would represent an injured client and charge a fee if there was no recovery. You see, I practice law with basic principles, one of which is you never need an excuse to do the right thing. If you or a family member has been injured in a vehicle collision, including a commercial or business vehicle, an 18-wheeler, call me. The phone call and consultation is free. If you hire me, I will not get a fee unless there is a recovery. And this has been true for me and my firm for more than 30 years. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or check out my website, alawyerforus.com.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
You've got a Pepto predicament, moviegoer.
Hey, I can hear your stomach grumbling.
Sorry, I ate that entire tub of popcorn with extra butter.
You overdid it, and now your movie has turned into a blockbuster bellyache. Undo it with Pepto.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Pepto chewables provide fast 5-symptom relief, so you can focus on the action on the big screen instead of in your stomach. When you overdo it, undo it with Pepto. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Methodist Care Now Urgent Care has over 19 locations throughout San Antonio, open 7 days a week. From injuries and illnesses to school and sports physicals, Care Now Urgent Care is here to help you feel better fast. Find a location near you at carenow.com and use our convenient web check-in today.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, a San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. The UTSA Roadrunners beat Temple Friday. They are now bowl eligible. Joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line, UTSA head football coach Jeff Traylor. And, Coach, before we get to the game, the more important question of the day, yay or nay on green bean casserole on Thanksgiving?
Well, I'm a big green bean casserole fan, but we interviewed a nutritionist today, and I went over that with him of what my players likes for food between the ages of 18 and 23 are. versus what their likes are going to be like as they get older in life. And I literally said to them today, it's funny, you must have been listening, Jason. I said, I don't think I ever ate a green bean, much less a green bean casserole before I was 40. But now I love green bean casserole. So I don't know what happens as you get older.
Well, it's just delicious. I mean, it's just that simple, Coach.
Delicious, or you eat it because it's once a year and it's served?
Well, it's also the way it's made. I mean, the casserole's got to be just right, and the green beans. Probably all my green beans have more brown sugar on them than anything else, and the casserole is just as much the taste. I don't know that I actually like the way a green bean tastes. I've probably never eaten a green bean without tons of sugar and honey on it.
Well, and you're not a French cut guy, are you? I mean, because
French cut.
Yeah, those ruin the green bean casseroles.
Yeah, I don't. You know, you're way, way, way above my average.
I don't know what that means, Coach.
Gilmer, Texas.
What do you mean French cut?
Well, they have French cut in the can, and they're awful. So it's a good thing you don't know what it is.
Yeah. As soon as you went French, the only thing that came to my mind was fried. So, all right.
Yeah, all I know is if they were delicious, Joe would eat them more than once a year, and he does not, which answers the question.
Well played. I like your argument there, Jason.
Yeah. You
Coach,
talk
don't.
about well played. We'll go from there. Well played, 51-27. Another incredible game from Owen. I don't know what's more impressive, all this passing stats or the 75-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, it was hilarious. You know, actually, he's played way better most of the year. We haven't turned the ball over. As crazy as a team as we've been this year, we've taken care of the football. But we had 2 critical interceptions in the game by one of the most trusted players on our team, if not the most trusted. And then we also fumbled a punt, which Chris Carpenter has as good a hands as we've ever coached back there. So we had 3 turnovers. So that's why I was so frustrated the whole game. I thought the game should have been over at halftime, and we just never could put them away because we just kept doing that kind of stuff. But whenever you have over 300 yards rushing, back-to-back games, our defense broke so many records. New school record, 16 tackles for losses. Jamori had 4 sacks, new school record. Just we had a ton of that kind of stuff. And, what a great night by Robert Henry. Had a great return for a touchdown on a kickoff by Chris Carpenter. That now gets him 2 for his career. He's also had 1 punt return for his career. Special night, weird game. Not sure it was well played, but we won, and we had played really, really well against the Memphis and North Texas. But I thought we kind of took a step back. I think the emotion of senior night had a lot to do with it. Those 26 seniors were pretty special, and we were pretty emotional about those guys.
I don't know, Jeff, and obviously you're the coach, you're the expert, but I'm watching this game, and never was there one time in my mind that I doubted that you guys were going to pull away and win this game. It just seemed I know there were some mistakes that kept them in the game, but you guys pretty much dominated them all over the place. It seemed like to me watching.
Well, like at halftime, I think we had 385 yards, and I think we rushed for over 200 already. And then they had 100 total, and the score was 27-17. And you know how that is. I mean, you're just like, good land. Have we let these guys in the game too long? We were very worried because their defense was so good up front, and we did struggle. We were not good on third down. We went back to how we were the first month. We were like 3 out of 13 on third down. We just big played them to death, but we didn't execute like we had been executing. Now, look, don't get me wrong. I'm very grateful that we scored 51 points. But I thought we had been cleaner. My young offense did not want to disappoint my defense. And I think we pressured a little bit because my defense is all seniors, and we wanted to send those guys out for their 5th straight bowl game. They've 29-3 at the Alamo Dome in their careers, like 16 or 17-2 in the month of November. What a great run those 5 years those guys have had. And the program they came to 5 years ago is light years better than the program they inherited when they got here.
It certainly is. Jeff Traylor, head football coach at UTSA here on the Blitz. Coach, I'm going to violate a culture pillar here, but you were wearing a bowl shirt. Any idea so people can start checking flights of what bowl you're likely to end up in?
No, sir. I don't think we will know for sure until 1 week after the Army game. Usually that stuff leaks out a little bit sooner, but I know what the company line is. I'm supposed to say, 1 week after the Army game. As I've told y'all a million times, I'm totally unplugged from social media during football season, so I really haven't heard any chatter. And I know Dr. Compost is handling all that. I'm just so grateful. 1 month ago, if you had told me we were going to be having this conversation, and I told y'all, man, we just blew the biggest lead in the history of our program. We now have Memphis, who has 1 loss, their top 25. We now have North Texas, who has 1 loss, their number 3 offense in the country. And we have Temple coming. If we don't win all 3 of those games, we're not going to a bowl. You would have told me we're crazy. And now here we are. What an amazing turnaround for our kids.
Well, and not only for the kids, for your coaching staff as well. You guys have done a hell of a job, Jeff, without a doubt. You do have a regular season game coming up against Army. Army was just, they didn't fare well against Notre Dame last week. Did you learn anything watching that film about Army and how you might want to attack them?
Yeah, you'd like to have about $20 million to get you a roster. I mean, that roster Notre Dame put out there. I mean, they're just so physically superior, right? They're just so much bigger, stronger, and faster. Army did a fantastic job. They ran their plays. They did their schemes. They just literally were just so much outgunned. It was nothing Army did wrong. Credit to Notre Dame, a great job. I think you're going to continue seeing that, with the P4s and then the G5s. The gap just gotten so large on the rosters. I hated that for Jeff because he did such a wonderful job of coaching. But they're still the number 1 offense. They're the number 1 rushing offense in the country, number 1 time of possession in the country, number 1 red zone defense in the country, number 1 fewest turnovers lost in the country, 3rd fewest penalties in the country. I mean, that is a remarkable season. And, man, he's done a great job. He's been there now 11th year. DC been there 5. OC been there 5. O-line coach 6. I mean, the how long they've been the O-line coach, 10 seasons together. Those guys have been there forever and winning a ton of games forever.
Yeah, they have. Now, one of the things, and I'm more of a Navy guy, obviously always beat Army, but you look at both Navy and Army this year and what they've been able to do offensively with some of the changes to the blocking rules. They're not running what they did 2, 3, 4 years ago where it was hard to prepare for, and they're both throwing the ball a lot more. How different is it preparing for this Army team versus, I don't know, last time you went up to Michie Stadium, you got the win. Or is it a lot different? They're just doing the same things now, just throwing it more.
Well, they got away from that, last year. But this year they actually have gone back to doing just what they've always done. They just can't cut block anymore. But the rest of it is the exact same. You're going to see the exact same Army that you've always seen. The quarterbacks carried the ball, over 200 times. I mean, for like 1,200 yards. That's crazy. But to your point, like, they've thrown the ball 78 times this year total. They've only passed for 79 yards per game. It's more of what you're used to seeing, Jason, in the old days. Whereas last year, remember when we played them, they went more to a gun spread look. So they're back to doing what they've always done, which makes it way harder to prepare for them.
Tough team, because you don't see a team like that very often, do you, Coach? I mean, that's got to make it more difficult to prepare for.
One of the worst parts is trying to get your scout team to run that offense. Imagine you show your scout team this look when what they've been doing all year is shotgun. And now we're under center, with slots and 2 tight ends, and we're running the bone, and we're running veer, we're running trap, old school football. And they're really good at it. Their O-line is just so good, and they've been together so long. And that quarterback's right out of Texas, Abernathy, Texas. Bryson Daly's a fantastic player. His dad's a head football coach in Abernathy, and just does a great, great job. And they've got like 29 Texas players on this roster, and they're good players.
Absolutely. They are, in fact, one of their captains, Max DiDomenico, a safety, was a quarterback over at Clemens a couple of years ago. And, Coach, as we visit with Jeff Traylor, I know you're not on social media during football. I don't know if you saw an article, a column that Mike Finger had in the Express News over the weekend, but you brought up $20 million for the roster like what Notre Dame has. Mike Finger has an article in the Express News. Headline, next question for Roadrunners, how committed are we going to be? And basically with the schools doing the revenue share starting in July, it's what percentage or how much revenue will UTSA share? No real answers yet. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but what are the conversations like with Lisa Campos and President Amy about how you at UTSA are going to handle the revenue share when this becomes a real thing?
Yeah, we've had those meetings. I've expressed to them the number that I think we need to hit in order to maintain our roster and to, stay competitive in the AAC. With Memphis and South Florida and Tulane, that bar has been raised tremendously. Now the firing of so many coaches in our division, and they fired, I think, 6 or 7. That's half of us that have already been fired. No one's going to take these jobs unless there's going to be, commitments made to the revenue sharing. And instead of firing me, I'd rather just let's get in front of this and let's give me what you're going to have to give me if you have to bring the new guy in here. Because the new guys will come in here without some promises. Those talks have gone very well. I do not have the number yet or the answer, but I would say they're progressing positively, and the needs have been expressed and they've been heard. And I'm just waiting for the answer to what that's going to look like.
Well, Jeff, is there, and I know from this article it says that there's a settlement coming, it looks like in April, before we know the exact number that schools can spend. Once that happens, do you guys, does that decision made as far as what is going to be allocated from that pool?
You can spend up to $20 million.
Okay.
So then you've got to decide what that's going to look like at your school. Some schools have already come out and announced they're paying all of that. I would seriously doubt that's what UTSA will be able to do. I know that our commissioner, Tim Pernetti, is going to put a floor, a minimum, on how much you have to spend to be in our league. That number has not been, handed out yet. I think a lot of people are just keeping it. If you're not going full, which the ones that are going full have already announced they're going full. The ones of us that are not going full revenue as far as the max, they're keeping their cards pretty close to the vest right now. I don't know if anybody wants to say what they're really going to do, because we're going to all be out here trying to recruit the same kids. How long can you play this game and not tell people? I don't know. We're signing kids December the 3rd, so it's coming really soon.
It really is, wow. And according to the Express News article by Mike Finger, Pernetti suggested that floor could be about $1 million. And, if that's the minimum, it can't be enough. This is me talking, not you. The UTSA wants to be legit. They can't go minimums here. So it'll be interesting to see ultimately where that goes. The other question I have with this, when the schools start taking over with the revenue share, does NIL money go away, or is there NIL plus revenue share?
Yeah, I think it's going to be where the boosters feel most comfortable in putting their money. I know Bob, who does, 210 City Fans, does a wonderful job of hosting our events. And I would expect he'd still want to continue doing that. That kickoff luncheon has been a wonderful thing for our players and our community. Martin and April and Pat, who've done the 210inspired.org, do they want to continue doing that, or do they want to become in-house? That's the decision that all those people would have to make. I'm so focused on Bob, Martin, April, and Pat right now because that's where all of our money is for our kids right now. Like, we're trying to sign this class, and I know I have those two collectives to help me get this class signed with. In July, when it becomes April's when we'll know for sure, but July is when it's supposed to start. That's when the schools can start taking over, and it'll be interesting to see how all that shakes out. I know most places are going to continue to have the NIL part, and then they're also going to have the revenue share part, but there are some that are all going to bring it all in-house. I'm not exactly sure what Bob's, Pat, Martin, and April's desires will be.
Jeff, let me ask you this question because I'm unclear on it. Of the $20 million, is that allocated percentage-wise to each sport, or does the school decide that?
Yeah, I believe the school's going to be deciding that, and I'm not exactly sure what that percentage is for sure because I never anticipate us paying the full. So I haven't really haven't dived too deep into that breakdown, to be honest with you, Joe. So I'm not sure of that because I don't know what our number is going to be. I doubt we're going to pay the full. If so, I think we've already said that. But that would be our entire football budget is $16 million. So I know we're not going to be handing that out. we don't have that to hand out.
No, and again, from my whole idea when I was reading this is, as long as we're not at the minimum, because the minimum doesn't get it done when you're talking about as we hear so often, the front porch of the university. And so whatever some of the other schools that are doing, you've got to be in that same neighborhood if we're going to stay competitive. And that's, to me, the bottom line.
And, also, let's look at the bottom line. We didn't do as well this year as we normally do, right? And by no means am I blaming anybody for NIL or anything like that. I'm just keeping it real right now. I'd love to know how much money we lost in tickets this year. We're not playing in the championship game. We're competing for a championship game the last week of the season. Now, we're literally 2 plays away from that being the case again. 2 plays. I mean, you got 1 place versus Rice and 1 play versus Tulsa, or you're going to Army to play your way into a conference championship game again. So that's how close we are, and I don't know how much money we lost in tickets this year, but I can promise you it's not what we've been making these last 3 years.
Well, it's got to be more than the floor. It's got to be at least half. I mean, what I'm talking about. I mean, seriously, Jeff, we're Jason and I are going to push this thing as much as we can, but it's just, I mean, if you want to be a big-time football program in this day and age, you got to pay for it. So it just depends on what you want. You want to talk, or do you want to make it happen?
Well, where it's heavy, we've only been playing ball for 14 years, right? So we don't have a ton of older boosters that play football for us. So we're going to have to make a huge investment, like has been done here. So many miracles before at UTSA. How far we've come in 14 years is fantastic. It's just the bar has been raised tremendously here in the last, 2 or 3 years.
Jeff Traylor, head football coach out at UTSA. Coach, no, it's Thanksgiving week. As an old high school football coach, I know you appreciate it. If you're playing on Thanksgiving, things are going well for you. Routine this week, practice and then get up to West Point?
Yeah, since we play so early Friday, there won't even be a walkthrough Friday morning. You just go to the stadium and play. We're going to go up, on Thanksgiving Day. So we'll practice normal tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday morning. We'll get on the jet. We'll fly to West Point. We'll be together and have a Thanksgiving dinner, which will be very special with all of our players, which we've done every year we've been together. As a football player and a coach, you just know you're going to be with your guys, on Thanksgiving. And then Friday, we'll take some of that Saturday morning that we usually do and do that Friday night. We'll just push everything down that we normally do Friday night into Friday afternoon. I'm excited about seeing my fellas, hanging out with them, spending some time together. It looked like this was going to kind of be our bowl game there for a moment, man. But luckily, I'm going to get to hang out with them for another month as soon as we find out what bowl game we're going to.
Absolutely. Nice. So go up a day early, Friday, since it's an 11 a.m. kickoff, I guess. And being at West Point, do you plan any kind of field trip? It's such an incredible place for some of that togetherness time.
We thought about it, but the Friday day is just so crammed. By the time we get, it's a long, long flight, especially when you're hauling that many people. So we'll get in there Thursday evening, have Thanksgiving dinner Thursday night together. Friday, I'll let them sleep in a little bit. Then we'll do what we normally do on Friday evenings, more on the Friday afternoon part. And then we'll do what we normally do on Saturday mornings that Friday night so we can get up Saturday, go to the game, and have a nice, crispy 35-degree kickoff at West Point.
Stay warm, my friend.
Nice.
Stay warm. Happy Thanksgiving. Eat all that green bean casserole you can,
That's
Coach.
That's right, Coach.
Well, that was a really great analogy early. I like that. If you only eat it one time a year, how much do you really like it? I know, Joe, I'm siding up with Jason there, but I kind of like that thought. I'm about to talk to Care Bear about some of those thoughts. Appreciate y'all. God bless. Birds up.
Birds up. Jeff Traylor, head football coach out at UTSA here on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Lots of comments about green bean casserole and other Thanksgiving foods.
Well, sure, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we're doing this week, right? Everybody's preparing.
Everybody is preparing for the great stuff we eat one time a year.
I'm going to, you know what? Damn it,
You're just mad that Traylor signed with me.
I may go home tonight and make green bean casserole.
You should. You got to have a practice run.
Just
Bring
to
it tomorrow
irritate
and
you.
let us sample
I'm gonna
it.
put
I'm
pictures
sure it's good.
Yes.
I'm sure it's good.
Absolutely.
I'm sure it's good, but great, delicious? No.
It's delicious.
It's like cranberries. Do you eat them any other time?
I'm not a huge cranberry fan. I like them. But
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
I
mean, eat them once a year. I like them at Thanksgiving. Yeah. That's about it. This year, I'm not going to have any. I'm going to be just fine.
Some things I don't like. I don't like yams.
Yeah,
you like yams?
No, those are gross.
Ugh.
Yams.
I already saw
they
some
even
people
call
on
them
there.
candy to try to get you. It's candy, right?
Yeah,
it's got to be good. No, you
gross.
can't even change the name and make that good.
No.
That's brutal.
Awful.
Brutal. We don't have an awful football game tonight for Monday Night Football. It's going to be a good one. Baltimore and the Chargers. And I tell you what, you want to win some money, go download the Underdog Fantasy app. Watch the game tonight, and you could win money. I just got a note, an alert from Underdog Fantasy. 71,000 players have Derrick Henry going higher on his rush and receiving TDs tonight. And look, you want to get in on that as well? Make sure you download the Underdog Fantasy app and play. It's a lot of fun to play when you're playing that pick'em game. And Underdog is running a special promo or bonus almost every single day like Profit Boost, where you can pump up your winnings in just a tap when you apply the boost to eligible entries. Discounts where you'll get adjusted projections on certain player stats to give you a better shot at the W. And free picks, basically a sure thing. A player just has to get higher than 0.5 for that pick to win. All new users get a free pick. So download the app, sign up with promo code STAR, deposit now, and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Must be over 18. Present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Get signed up. Use my promo code STAR at Underdog Fantasy.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle, the inevitable return of Rob Thompson. We got to talk the Cowboys game with him. Got to talk the Aggies game with him. That should be fun. Plus, who came out on top in the Harbaugh Bowl. It's the Morning Huddle. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
When you've got a big job to do, never compromise. Hi, I'm John Ewald with Ewald Kubota. Get the power, comfort, and quality you need by choosing Kubota rental equipment. Excavators, skid loaders, track loaders, RTVs, or mowers. At Ewald Kubota, we have the machine you need when you need it. Rent by the day, week, or month. We know you want the dependable equipment Kubota is known for, and we can even deliver it to you. From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas, for over 75 years, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
Lowe's knows that to win the job, pros need the best prices. That's why only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500 at the Pro Desk. That means you get the prices you need to start any job, small or large. Because Lowe's knows pros. Valid in-store only. More terms and restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms or Pro Desk for details.
At the Home Depot, the holidays have arrived.
And so is all my family. So I'm working on keeping up with the laundry.
The Home Depot is here to help with Black Friday savings up to 40% off select appliances. Spend less time doing laundry with smart, efficient appliances from Samsung. Ranked #1 in customer satisfaction.
Perfect. Less laundry time means more family time.
Get Black Friday savings now with free delivery and financing on select appliances at the Home Depot. Visit jdpower.com/awards for more details. Offer valid November 6th through December 4th. U.S. only. See store or online for details.
Jake from State Farm. I'm winning. I finally cleaned my house, so I'm breaking out my new tropical room spray.
Keep winning and create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. It's like your own personal paradise.
Ooh, hey, grab me a coconut water.
Bundling, just another way to save with a personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-319-3687. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-319-3687. 800-319-3687. 800-319-3687.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text PEC to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text PEC to 321-321. That's PEC to 321-321.
Being arrested is embarrassing, humiliating, and potentially life-changing. If you want to rewrite the script on the worst night of your life, then you're going to need a stable of aggressive and skilled attorneys. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, Attorneys at Law. We are here to get your life and reputation back. Visit TexasArrest.com or call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. As a former major crimes prosecutor, I've seen almost every type of arrest scenario play out. From small-degree drug accusations to death penalty capital murders, I've handled almost every type of case the state of Texas can charge you with. At Barton & Associates, we know how to flip the script and get your life back on track. Call us at 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. Or visit us at TexasArrest.com. That's TexasArrest.com. Barton & Associates, we are here to get your life and reputation back.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix on this Monday. A lot of people commenting, well, we went really long with Jeff Traylor, and we did. Hope Coach didn't have somewhere else to go, but I thought it was a enlightening conversation on not only what's going on with the program, but the current team, the win, and Army. But that Mike Finger article in the Express News, I had questions about it. I didn't know that he would get into that kind of detail, but one question leads to another question. I hope you got the answers you were looking for, because I don't think many of us really know until you ask.
Well, exactly, and I think the answer that we're all going to be interested in is how much is going to be allocated for the football program and everybody else for that matter. So that's the question that needs to be asked. Obviously, April is a big day because that's an NCAA settlement, which could put the figures where they are going to be and what schools are going to be allowed to spend. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. But, what I loved about Jeff Traylor's answer there, I mean, he's talking about how many coaches are being fired or quitting and not going back to try to get another job. And a lot of it is because of the nonsense that's going on with this whole NIL transfer portal stuff.
Well, and you think about how fast you have to turn a program around. The idea that the number of coaches that have already been fired or where there's openings. I saw this tweet yesterday from Brett McMurphy, who's now with the Action Network. In the American Athletic Conference, which is where UTSA plays, Charlotte, East Carolina, FAU, Rice, Temple, and Tulsa are all open. Kennesaw State, Conference USA, that job is open. There's 3 from the MAC, 2 from the Mountain West. Sunbelt, Southern Miss is open. And those are all teams that have already fired their coaches. But if you're going to hire somebody, what's the budget for players? That's going to be a big part of any job interview.
No question.
I mean, no different than a recruit. Where are we starting the conversation, Coach? Okay, that's not enough. If the recruiting budget isn't there, how's anybody going to have success?
That's exactly right, and that is going to be the first question now. And look, Dr. Campos and President Amy are pretty smart people.
They are.
They know what it's going to take, and if they've already gotten that recommendation from Jeff Traylor, then they should probably go with that. If that's what he needs, that's what he feels like he needs to compete in the American Conference, then, I mean, to me, it's not even – shouldn't even be up for debate. Whatever the man asks for, he ought to get.
Well, and I don't know that Jeff Traylor asked for an amount that isn't reasonable and fair to UTSA.
Sure.
There is always a time to be greedy, and you understand your bosses, and so if you think whatever you ask for – and he's got a couple of years of experience of, hey, I need this for this. And,
right.
And if he knows that they always come in a little under, and I don't know how they operate, I don't know that you ask for more than you need, but it's going to be out there. And we're going to all know, like, what is North Texas doing? What is Rice doing? What is Memphis doing? And Memphis also has all that NIL money. So then you have to look at it. If you can't win, you get fired. Is Jeff Traylor going to wait around for that, or when his name gets brought up in more job interviews that seems to happen every year, his name circles, is in those circles like the last couple of years, they have bigger recruiting budgets and more of a chance of success. What do you think he's going to do? Well, if he's not getting the support from UTSA?
And I'll tell you what, if I'm someone that's looking for a head coach, and I look down here at Jeff Traylor at UTSA, and I see the job that he's done with this depleted roster, this injury-riddled roster, getting this team to where they are at 6 wins. I mean, to me, this is one of the best coaching jobs that I've seen. Jeff Traylor, look, it's easy to win. And I'm not taking anything away from Jeff Traylor when you're stacked and you've got talent. But when you're depleted and you got to make moves and do things, he's done a great job since he's been here. But this year just might be his best.
We talked about it a couple of weeks ago. This might be Jeff Traylor's best coaching job at UTSA. And when you think about the number of starters that have gone down, backups are backups for a reason. They weren't as good as the starters.
Yep.
For him to get those guys playing at the level they are now, to get bowl eligible, and you just heard him a few minutes ago, a couple of weeks ago, the idea of them being bowl eligible, quite frankly, was a little laughable.
Yes.
If we're being honest.
Yeah.
You want it, but realistically, was it going to happen? But with playing time, those younger players have turned into players. So he has coached them up, and you know, quite frankly, and coaches look at games differently. Sure, they had some turnovers. He's like, we might have taken a step back. Dude, you scored 51 points.
Well, the game was never in doubt.
It never was.
Never was.
Although, I do have a little bitch about UTSA football.
Uh-oh.
It's college football in general, not just UTSA. But I'm up at hunting camp, and we've got the game on.
Uh-huh.
Now, this game started at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
4 hours later,
yeah,
it ended. But before that game was over, ESPN2 said, dude, we got to go to this basketball game.
Yeah.
I never saw the end. I didn't see the end of the game because it took 4 freaking hours to play.
Well, UTSA's always been that way, but it is college football in general too. They're trying to do that where
here's what I don't get. Like as a broadcaster, we know, football games are about 3 hours. And we have not, as broadcasters, figured out you allot a certain amount of time for a game. It's gone from about 3 hours to 3.5 hours. Now you've got to go about 6 hours. Like Aggie games, right? Aggie games, and because you carry the pregame show and then you carry the postgame show, right?
Yeah.
The postgame show is breakfast with Monaco with the Aggies. But it is nuts that game took 4 hours. I never saw the end because on ESPN2 they switched over to basketball.
Well, the end of the game wasn't in doubt, so it doesn't really matter. But like I say, Temple, because of those mistakes that Jeff was talking about, they kind of stayed within shouting distance. But I was never worried that Temple was going to overtake them. I mean, because they pretty much dominated them for the most part. I mean, my gosh, Temple's offense in the first quarter, I think they were negative yardage because they pretty much sacked their quarterback on every play. It was nuts.
It was. Getting a comment, more green beans, less UTSA. What the hell does that mean?
I have no idea.
That's a weird comment.
That is a weird comment.
But if you're into it, David on our YouTube says, top 3 on the menu for Thanksgiving, stuffing, pecan pie, and green bean casserole.
Let's see that? Now, I'm not a big pecan pie guy, but the other two are good.
Bottom 3, cranberry sauce, cranberry salad, and bland white dinner rolls.
You know, my kids love that cranberry salad stuff.
What the hell is cranberry salad?
It's got a bunch of marshmallows in it. No, there's no lettuce involved.
Oh, it's like a fruit salad.
Fruit thing, but a lot of marshmallows and cranberries, basically.
Yeah. Not a fan.
No, I'm not either.
Extra innings with Pledge. Coming up next, then, Monday Night Football here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star, brought to you by Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. Should be an entertaining game between the Chargers and the Ravens, the Harbaugh brothers.
Yep, the Har Bowl.
Yeah, is that what we're calling it?
Well, that's what they call it on ESPN.
Okay, cool. That's right after Extra Innings with Pledge. Make sure you wake up with Rob and AJ tomorrow morning on the Morning Huddle. We are back tomorrow at 2.
This is The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM, Floresville. And everywhere at